Not bad at all. In fact, I dare say it came out rather well. Good morning, Sanson. Having a late breakfast? Oh, what a wonderful smell. Is that a crepe? Morning mash. No, this is a buckwheat galette. I heard we'd produced some lovely ham and found myself hooked after spending some time with the chef. So you're using ham, cheese, and soft-boiled egg. And is that zucchini? It looks delicious. Thank you. I often had galettes when I was like this when I was growing up in Paris. They were originally a peasant dish from a Brittany region. It's even said that they were severed at the palace of King, or served at the palace of King Louis the Fourth's. No, is that the 14th's mother, Annie of Austria. Ideally, I would have liked to pair it with hard cider, but oh, right, exactly. You couldn't do that because we've run out, right? Apparently, someone broke into the kitchen and stole most of our alcohol. Really? Was it a thief? I think so, since a number of rooms were also experienced inexplicable blackouts around the same time. That's why I'm on the case right now. Holmes has been preoccupied with something in the hangar lately, so it's up to me to be the detective this time. I see. In that case, I will gladly offer my assistance. Ever since the search for the Seventh Holy Grail came to an end, what has brought me the greatest joy is the drastic improvements made to Chaldea's pantry. It's thanks to them that the servants like us can enjoy seasonal delicates and flavors from around the world. I am so grateful to be able to experience so many wonderful tastes, but ashamed to learn that there is a thief among us here in Chaldea. Me too. Since Chaldea is still responsible for preserving humanity, managing our food stockpiles is important. Well said. It's probably Saber. Saber's eating everything. My head. I feel sick. Good morning, Robin. You seem to be a bit under the weather. Oh, morning, Mash. Don't mind me. I can smell the alcohol from here. Robin? He's clearly hungover. He must have drunk an immense amount to be affected despite being a spirit. Fortunately, this works out well. Here, Robin, drink this onion soup. It'll get you hydrated and replenish some of the salt you lost. If that doesn't cure your hangover, drink a glass of water with some baking soda to reduce the acidity in your stomach. No thanks. I'm not drinking that. I smelled rotting animals that weren't so rank. There aren't even any medical herbs in it. I mean, it's not like you're a witch or an alchemist or, my head. I knew it. You're still in bad shape. What help could you be if there was an emergency right now? Won't you please consider taking Sanson's advice and having the soup? Also, I would appreciate it if you would tell me what happened last night, and please don't skip on the details. Last night? Okay, if that's what you want. I couldn't care less what Dr. Frenchy says, but I can't say no to you. Still, there's not that much to tell. I just kind of ended up getting roped into a little drinking party the authors were having. Sometimes it's nice to just cut loose and drink like there's no tomorrow. Consequences be damned, you know? Anyway, the last thing I remember is Asmodeus crashing the party and drinking the rest of the booze. After that, it's all a blank. Ah, Asmodeus. I swear, the man is a bottomless pit where alcohol is concerned. He always shows up unannounced at parties, drains the wine cellar as if it were his own, and doesn't even pay a single écu to boot. I don't know what that word was. Some French thing. Robin, were you perhaps sent to raid the kitchen last night as an errand boy of sorts? Now that you mention it, I think something like that might have happened. I see. I'm glad I'm making progress. I knew I could resolve a small case like this without asking Holmes for help. At any rate, it seems clear that you all were getting plastered on Chaldea's reserves. Indeed, what a sorry sight. Yeah. Not all of us were brought up with the luxury of using proper knives and forks for our dainty little breakfast, unlike some nobles I know. I'm not a noble. Oh, is that so? Maybe you're not, but you aren't exactly one of us commoners either, are you? Huh. What's going on with Robin? Does he have some sort of problem with Sansa? Oh, the alarm. An alarm? What does that tablet of yours say, Mash? Let me see. It's a time to re-alert. An abnormality has been spotted somewhere far away. I'll head for the command room. Could we turn it down? The sound is the last thing I need with this headache. Robin, you need to take care of your hangover before you do anything else. Agreed. Once you do that, I shall take you to see the chef. Or chief. Got it. Take care, Mash. Don't push yourself too hard now. Looks like things have finally calmed down. Guess they've got a handle on the situation now. Ah well, it ain't even my business. I'm A-okay steering clear of that limelight. All those hot-blooded hero types can handle demon schemes and threats to humanity just fine without me. Ah, the soup really does hit the spot. I'm here. What's the situation? Morning, Mash. You're looking as fluffy as ever, Mash. uh, um, did you say fluffy? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean by that, but thank you, Senpai. In fact, you're looking kind of fluffy yourself too. Like here, you've got some of your bedhead. Okay, you two, it's too early in the morning for flirting, and the command room isn't the place. Cute. That's better. Now then, here's the information we've got so far. You can fix your bedhead while you listen, Fetrix. First of all, we know that the alarm originated in North America. We're detecting an incredible magical energy signature, but the threat level is fairly low, at least for now. At the moment, we're sending in a fleet of investigative drones to collect more intel and communicating with the local authorities. We're also coordinating with the North America branch of the Mages Association, since Chaldeans didn't observe this phenomenon. However, there aren't many association agents in North America, so I doubt they'll be of much help. Where exactly in North America is it coming from? If you'll direct your attention to the screen right here, the image was just taken by one of our stationary satellites. The United States East Coast specifically, an area north of Boston, Massachusetts. Come to think of it, it's still in the middle of night over there, isn't it? Even so. It's so dark. I don't see a hint of light anywhere. It looks more like a crater than anything. That's right, it's pitch black, complete and total darkness. We can't detect so much as a hint of an artificial light within a perfectly circular 7-kilometer radius. This is no blackout or freak weather. Magecraft is the only exception for something like this. Naturally, since it's covered in such total darkness, we don't have any other visual data. Do we know what's in the middle of this darkness? As I recall, there was a port town here at this inlet. I think its name was Salem. It is a cursed name, both for white man and for us. Geronimo. My presence was requested, so I have came. Are you sure I can be of use, Da Vinci? My tribe knows little of the sea, after all. I'm sure, Geronimo. In fact, you're the perfect warrior for the job. The proud members of your tribe have been attuned to the land's voice since ancient times, so we could really use your wisdom right now. I see. So the situation has become so dire that you're making a formal request for my help. Very well. I will be of assistance however I can. What about the people inside the darkness? Are they alright? At the moment, we have no way of knowing. So far, the US Army's reconnaissance drones haven't picked up any sign of the local populace or even any radio transmissions. Simply put, 50,000 people who have just finished their perfectly ordinary day have inexplicably disappeared. I can only imagine what the White House advisors are going through right now in the run-up to the inevitable press conference. That's terrible. Could this be a demon god pillar? Huh? You mean one of the demon god pillars that escaped when Goetia was destroyed? Yes, Vectrix, this is almost certainly the work of a demon god pillar. That said, the extent to which it seems to not even be making an effort to conceal the insidious nature of this anomaly concerns me. In the other abnormalities we've dealt with over the past several months, like Shinjuku or Argotha, the culprits tried to keep their identities a secret. On top of that, both of those singularities occurred in the past. Hell, in Argotha's case, it was so thoroughly hidden that it was literally miles under the ground. But that is not the case here. It's taking place right now, and it's so obvious that even the US government knows about it. Neither of the demon god pillars attempted anything like this, and that is truly worrying. Still, at least the singularity is on a much smaller scale, It reminds me of Fuyuki and how it's only covering a single town. Smaller scale, only in comparison with what we have seen so far. You mean, but even now, I can see this tragedy unfolding before my eyes. I pray that the dawning sun will chase away the curtain of darkness that has befallen this land. So what will you do now, Da Vinci? And you, my friend? We have to get to Salem right now. Right, Senpai. I am afraid I disagree. The time is not yet right. But there are people in clear present danger, 50,000 of them no less. We do not know for sure that this is not a trap. It is possible that we may end up being glad that only tens of thousands of people lost their lives there. We are still very much in dark ourselves. All we know for certain is what Da Vinci said. Never before have we seen such a bold approach as this. I sense that the demon god lying in wait in this darkness is more cautious and villainous than any we have faced yet. Da Vinci, have there been any updates in the investigation? Any further details come to light? Yes, there have been a few more updates, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. When the darkness first appeared, it quickly expanded to its current radius in just a few seconds before its progress suddenly stopped. Since then, it's remained completely static, at least from the outside. Mages from the association have sent in familiars, but we've lost contact with each and every one of them. Land, sea, low-flying air, no matter how the familiars attempted to infiltrate the darkness, not a single one of them has reported back. On top of that, the directors of Boston's Holy Church haven't been quiet about this either. This unidentified phenomenon precludes the use of spiritual evocations, sacrifices, runes, summoning circles, and anti-fortress and anti-army noble phantasms in areas surrounding Salem. These areas include parts of Beverly, Peabody, Danvers, Marblehead, Swampscott, and Lynn. We regretfully report that we have not discovered any evidence of magical involvement, nor can we completely rule it out in regards to the situation. All that means, this phenomenon has taken the church completely by surprise. So it's safe to conclude that none of the persons of interest they've been keeping on have gone near Salem either. You can tell this was a real bitter pill for them to swallow, especially given how proud they are. It's a bit of a surprise for them to throw up their hands in bafflement like this. Though, that's not to say they're at a loss for words. One of them went on to add, "Were I to venture my personal opinion, I might say that it seems as if the very hand of God himself had laid waste to the earth." Can you believe that? Sure doesn't sound like something a man of the cloth should go around saying, if you ask me. Well, it would appear to be a different God than the one their faith sees as the one true God. I've heard rumors about Chaldea staff being stationed around the world for some time now. But I had no idea they were also working at Magecraft's Association branch and the Holy Church. Of course, they are, the covert agents we planted on site to blend into their respective areas. The Chaldea's security organization hasn't been just sitting around twiddling its thumbs, waiting for these stray demon gods to reappear, you know. These agents are just a part of our overall effort, though I have to admit that it wasn't easy finding people with no familial or community ties to get to come home and work for us. Damn it. Roman always excelled at hiring the right kind of people. He did leave behind a manual detailing his procedures, but it's just not the same. Roman? Oh god. Still, it definitely helped. Once I knew where to look, it was just a matter of balancing the budget. I recruited mages, demonology experts, and exorcists and stationed them in cities of interest. And Boston just happened to be one of them. The other North American agents should all be gathered there by now. At this point, we're still just running recon, since we're not on site ourselves. The best thing we can do right now is gather as much information as we can to figure out our next move. Damn, Roman's still helping us from beyond the grave. Roman! So, we wait for news from people we trust. That's right. At times like this, there's nothing wrong with depending on others for help. You've really grown, Patrick. Trying to handle everything yourself is the height of arrogance, and can lead you to a terrible mistake. And in the end, you're left with nothing but grief. I'm relieved to see that self-sacrifice isn't your answer to everything anymore. Still, isn't there anything we can do? Of course, plenty in fact. Now that the alert level has been raised, we're getting reports from all over the world. Somebody has to determine if they're authentic, and whether they're related to what's happening in Salem. I'd like you to handle that, Mesh. Huh? Understood. Now I think it's about time we pulled in a certain great detective to help us out. His work in the hangar should probably have gotten boring to him by now, so he'll be in his room, or just wandering around Chaldea. Petrix, would you mind speaking with Holmes yourself? Of course, I doubt you would have much luck when he even barely pays attention to what Watson has to say. I see. Don't worry, we'll handle that too. I'll drag him out here by force if I have to, just like Mr. Hudson, or Miss Hudson. Besides, Da Vinci, have you been cooped up in here since last night? Ah, you noticed, did you? You're right. I was actually in the middle of testing a certain summon when the alarm sounded. Just between us, the timing couldn't have been worse. Even geniuses like me can make mistakes. For a moment, I was afraid I might unwittingly cause a second huge Chaldea explosion. Not funny. Well, you can't blame me. Not after Chaldea's main power and backup power looked like they were about to get knocked out. I see. Another piece of the puzzle in my investigation falls into practice. Wait, back up. That sounds really important. Thanks in advance for all your help, Mash. You too, Geronimo. As for you, Fetrix, I want you to be ready for anything, like a good master. I agree, Senpai. Please let us handle this from now on. Or for now. I may no longer be able to fight on the front lines, but in return, I'll do everything I can to support you from back here. That's the sort of Kohai I aspire to be. Wait, Mash can no longer be on the front lines? I thought she was just recovering. No! My Mash. But wait, who are they summoning then? Who was that mysterious summon? Or who is she working on? Is she trying to bring Roman back? You went there? She's trying to summon Romani again? And who is that? I mean, Da Vinci and Roman always hit it off really well. Thanks for waiting, everyone. We're nearly ready to begin this operation now. What's more, this will almost certainly end up being the final ray shift. The final ray shift? And the hype music begins. Why is that? Because we know that this is the very last Demon God Pillar, the last singularity to be observed on Earth. We may not have been able to determine where the Demon God Pillars that escaped from the Temple of Time had hidden themselves, but we were able to find the distortions in space-time they created wherever they went. Not that we could have done that without Chaldea, of course, and it's those readings that tell us that this will be the last. The Mages Association and the UN have jointly decided to halt all ray shift operations following this pseudo-spiritual transfer. After this, barring authorization from the new director being appointed in December, we won't be able to ray shift anymore no matter what. That's disappointing to hear, but it doesn't make sense. We shouldn't be ray shifting after humanity has stabilized anyway, since it does involve time travel. Exactly, which is why the ray shift technology will be sealed away once we've dealt with this final instability. It's now been 72 hours since this large-scale disappearance occurred on the east coast of North America, with Salem at its center. Let me start by telling you what we've learned directly from our own investigation and information gathering. First off, we've decided to call the darkness sprang up out of nowhere to cover all of Salem the Mist. Given how it absorbs all visible light and other forms of electromagnetic waves, and doesn't obey any laws of physics, we are certain it is an instance of magecraft. Its scale remains unchanged since it first appeared, as I mentioned earlier, a near-perfect circle with a radius of 7 kilometers. We also know that the mist extends upwards to an average altitude of 600 meters. It's easy to enter this area, but so far, nothing has done so much made it back out. Or nothing that has done has made it back out. Every one of the unmanned vehicles, unmanned surveillance units, drones, and closed circuit robots sent in by the US Army have been swallowed up by the darkness. Either that, or they simply ceased functioning the moment they got too close. They have also tried using helicopters, I'm told they're called Apaches, to lower in sensors, but all of those ended up being destroyed as well. Not even a single drone made it back? I'm afraid not. Each and every one ended up broken and inoperable. A number of journalists snuck past the army's blockade and went into the mist themselves, but there is no sign of that any of them have returned. Same is true of the trained animals that were sent in for reconnaissance. Poor things. Nor have we been able to confirm any birds or other wild animals either coming or going into the mist. Curses. Then it has become a complete barren wasteland and barbaric land of darkness that does not suffer even a single watt to pass. We next tried to fight magecraft with magecraft by bringing in our own mages. They sent in familiars protected by magical barriers, cyber demons, automata, and more. Unfortunately, despite the local staff's best efforts, those ended in failure too. But as of last night, we finally received word that a single attempt was successful, returning with valuable new information. Could you just not have led with that and spared us all the extra nonsense? I mean, what do the US Army troubles really matter to us? How dare you! Have you no respect for their sense of duty? My schedule is completely shot thanks to having to write a manuscript on such short notice. Just look at these bags under my eyes. Now, my friend, I understand how you feel, but let us not make molehills into mountains. The important thing is that our work is now done. Our duty has passed like a ship in the night. You there, leave that alone. We need it for dealing with the mist properties and to prepare for our future countermeasures. It's especially important that you understand this part, Fedrix. You weren't able to contact the inside even with magecraft. Why are you two writing a manuscript? Let's go with that one. Oh, that? We poor feasible authors were beset by a storm last night, but I believe your attention would be better spent on the matter at hand. The only thing that made it back was a single mechanical doll. It was originally designed to be a clock before a puppet, made master, disguised as a clockmaster, repurposed it. It's made out of oak gears, cast iron nails, and Balin, a robot created without any technology whatsoever, any modern technology. This medieval robot managed to bring back sketches of what things are like inside the mist by automatically transcribing what it saw with its crystal pupils. Take a look at these. Oh god, our first look into Salem. Okay. Okay. Black and white images of like an old American town. I see. Yes, this is definitely Salem. A peaceful run-of-the-mill village whose pious residents live their lives with integrity. However, this is not modern-day Salem. These sketches clearly show how it looked centuries ago. Right, we cross-referenced them with our records and found that they were identical to Salem in the late 17th century. Basically, the world within the darkness is the 17th century Salem, as it was in colonial times. I see. That would mean it's still British territory then. No wonder the US Army was so completely useless. Be quiet! This cowardly invasion cannot stand. What about the 50,000 people who live there now? Remember, this is not the first time this land has been invaded. As we've established, the recorded observations are of Salem in the 17th century. The only way the robot could make such observations is in the past, has been faithfully recreated, or if some manner of magecraft is displacing the area itself. It's fascinating to ponder, but the effect this could have on humanity is immeasurable. This is almost certainly the work of a demon god pillar, still plotting to incinerate humanity. Demon god pillar. That reminds me. Geronimo, earlier you said that the name Salem is cursed. What did you mean by that? That's all in the past now. It belongs to history. Do you mind if I tell this story, Mr. Edison? By all means, though we may wish it weren't so. This reminds me a part of our nation's history. This remains a part of our history. Very well then. The town of Salem and its neighboring lands were home to 3 tragedies. The first was plague. When the white man came to our shores, he brought with him an epidemic that nearly wiped out Massachusetts tribe living in the Boston Harbor. The second was war, albeit war was more of a massacre. Oh god, what is that? Wampanoag? The Wampanoag tribe that managed to survive the plague put up a valiant fight. But in the end, their chief's skull still became an ornament for the white man's village. Never mind that, the white man only survived the cruel winter thanks to the resources of the Wampanoag left behind. In a stroke of truly bitter irony, the state would go on to be named after the Massachusetts tribe, and these events would be celebrated as a national holiday. Finally, the third tragedy that took place in Salem was the witch trials. This time, the white man went around killing his own kind. Fearing the devil's influence, they hung many innocent people. I trust you now see why it is called a cursed land. I do. Wait, trials? I thought the term was witch hunt. So, these trials have anything to do with Joan? Let's try that one. I'm curious. Ha 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 ha. It may seem that way, but in truth, the two events were completely unrelated. Witches were never anything more than another creation of man's fevered imagination and infinite capacity for self-destruction or self-delusion. Fire burn and cauldron bubble. They are merely characters who only ever appeared in works of fiction. I may have made use of them myself in my own stories, but I've never once encountered a genuine article. She's seething. Furthermore, those who claim these fictional beings are real in order to serve their own selfish ends are simply in denial of that delusion. In my own time as well, people who sense the truth through skin and scent, even if they did rarely put pen to paper to express what they truly thought. That there is indeed a collective unconsciousness that fears witches and their curses. Now, that some time has passed since then, I wonder what things are like in the modern day. I believe that this is relevant. I believe that this is less relevant than one might think. I have no interest in determining whether, in history, late 17th century Salem should fall. Nonetheless, this is abundantly clear that the piety was not the only thing that the Puritans brought to the New World. Those who loathe sin, those who judge sinners by their own hands, are inevitably the sort who wish to engage in sin themselves. Such people will always exist, no matter the day and the age. It is the fundamental aspect of the criminal mind. So, what then? Is a witch a criminal? A victim? The answer to that question has changed as people's beliefs has shifted over time. As one who understands the mysteries and mystic, and rejects the guidance of an unknowledgeable God, I would say that the witch trials were exactly what their name suggests, a lawful process used to pass judgment on so-called witches. An attempt to manage the frenzied panic, a witch hunt in a stylish, civilized manner. Of course, offering madness at the seat of a dinner table after it becomes barging in unannounced does nothing to change its inherent nature. Thus, the persecution of the witches continued unabated in the West until it circumlated in its final chapter in the New World, where it culminated. Ironically, in Salem, a land steeped in this pious faith. It was there where the devil truly ran free, where reason and desire, scientific spirit and occult mindsets came together. Enough. Put the violin away. What possible use could it be here? If you just want to hear yourself talk, then go to your room, where you won't bother anyone. Oh. Was that a bit long-winded? And here I thought I was being considerate by drawing the listener in with generous amounts of exposition. Ahem. I think that's enough. Witch trial talk for now. For my part, over the last few days, I've been investigating whether there might have been any changes in past events. I've been checking the repaired foundations over and over for signs of instability. I haven't overlooked anything, and yet, something is still going on. There's something about this singularity that's unlike any we've seen so far. Some small distortions that threatens the very rules of our world. That data is indeed inaccurate, or accurate, and this case is undeniably clear for all to see. Which would mean the culprit is closer to a god than a human, a demon god to be precise. It is certainly no surprise that a demon god pillar would act veiled in sorcery, but even mysterious acts like this are bound by incontrovertible rules. However, these rules cannot be tested from the outside. To do so, one must venture inwards to get, as they say, up close and personal. Holmes is right. If we can't get information that makes sense from the outside, then we have to investigate from the inside. Master Fetrix, as Chaldea's acting director, I am formally requesting that you be the one to enter the mist. I want you to investigate whatever is inside, rescue as many people as you can, find the demon god pillar, and destroy it. Yes, ma'am. Okay, but how exactly do I do that? You're up, Mash. Right. The mist is bound in field. We've conducted a number of tests in our analysis, and one of the automata that successfully returned, and learned that the mist eliminated anything made with post-17th century technology. That's why the cutting-edge drones that we sent in ceased to function. What's inside the mist? Well, as the acting commander said earlier, there do appear to be humans inside. What's more, we believe they are leading normal lives despite their confinement. Normal lives? Then the people who live there are alright? But wait a moment. Wouldn't they be panicked? Out of their minds? I know I would. I'm afraid I... Unfortunately, we just don't know whether those people are safe. We haven't gathered enough information yet. As you saw from the sketches, the area inside the mist has changed completely. It appears to be recreating Salem, and the way its people lived their lives in the late 17th century. Whatever the reason for that may be, that's where we need to begin. Whoa, I'm impressed you figured all that out so quickly. How did you learn all that from an automata alone? Let's go with the first one. This was information we got from the near future observation lens, Sheba. Incredibly detailed information too. Especially given that it was observing something in present-day space-time. Usually, Sheba isn't much help at all, so the whole staff was puzzled by why we were able to use it here. I'm sure there is a good explanation for it, but since we don't have the time to figure it out right now, I'm just going to chalk it up to an unexpected stroke of good luck. Indeed, truly this is an act of providence. God has clearly seen fit to bless us in this dire time. Now, we should hurry and find a way through that field, whatever it takes. I agree, which is why Holmes and I put our heads together and came up with a possible strategy. A ray shift that results in the same error. This way, we can send you straight into the heart of Salem without moving you across time. However, there are two major conditions involved with this plan that I need you to understand. Vetrix. As I explained earlier, we get one round trip, ray shift, period. What's more, the number of people we can shift is severely limited. The Association has already forced us to shut down the reactor in Chaldea's basement, so we only have enough remaining magical energy for one last large-scale round trip. Oh god, it's our last trip! But there are expectations there are exceptions to every rule, huh? Just goes to show, you can't cross a bridge until you come to it. We're not operating independently anymore. We can't afford to be optimistic or even pessimistic. As for the second condition, you'll need to dress the occasion so that you don't stand out in the 17th century Salem. Think of it as an officially sanctioned cosplay. It may sound silly, but we believe it will be essential to letting you move around in Salem unimpeded. Sounds great to me. I'll go first then. You can't. Why not? Bill, tell them. Bill? It's the first time I've heard Da Vinci use Bill for the short of Shakespeare. Indeed, once we learned all this day, Lady Da Vinci asked us to come up with a scenario for infiltrating the area. I nearly fainted when I first thought she was asking me to sneak in, so you can imagine my relief to know this is not the case. You do know that you don't have to share every thought that comes to that swollen head of yours, don't you? After all, we are servants but a band of fools and eccentrics. As such, we are well suited to being actors. Thus, in this scenario, you will visit Salem as part of a traveling group of performers, a trope, if you will. Huh, what a joke. The great William Shakespeare reduced to writing a script for a glorified circus act. I knew even before you put quill to paper that taking into account that the inexperienced actors and the uptight audience, there was no way the script would be suitable. Now, Anderson, there is nothing more delightful in a story than a surprising and well-conceived twist. In this case, we hardly need world-class talent. Of course, they need to be able to perform in some fashion, or the whole play will be for naught. But a trope is, by definition, a place where those who are otherwise unable to earn a living drift together, which makes it perfect camouflage. Wait up. Hold up. You mean we're going to be performing? Oh god. I'm not a good actor, as you can tell by my voice, my crappy voice acting. Is there a problem with that? I think it's a pretty clever idea myself. As for which servants will actually be joining this trope, I decided to choose them myself, taking Bill's opinions into account, of course. Let me tell you, it was a terrible headache coming up with a scenario that fit these rank amateurs. Still, that's not to say it wasn't fulfilling. Go ahead and knock yourselves out with this manuscript. Just make sure you pay in full and up front. So then, neither Shakespeare or Anderson will be joining this mission. What about you, Geronimo? I'm sure Senpai would be greatly relieved to have you along. I'm sorry, Mesh, but I can't do that. I wasn't cast in this operation either. No doubt, they thought my inclusion would lead to unforeseen difficulties, even as a member of my troop. I would like nothing more than to help, but not if it means putting my friend in danger. I like Geronimo, it's cool. I see. Damn, Geronimo and Edison, cool characters that we're not able to take with us. On the flip side of that, what's gotten into you, Media? You loathed this idea from the moment you heard it. You said you'd refuse even if we use a command spell. Does the fact that you've been standing around without making a peep mean you still haven't made a decision? Well, I guess I'm still thinking about it. You want me to send Media to Salem? Are you serious? Even if she's just going to pretend to be a troop member, that's far too dangerous. After all, Medea really is a... Exactly. Regardless of Medea's excruciating circumstances or extenuating, sending a real witch to a place famous for witch hunting is the height of folly. Ugh. Boring, dull, dim-witted. I should have expected no better response from a lion. Quite. There is not a hint of humor or adventure to be found in it. Indeed, I couldn't have said better myself. Ha! Go ahead and laugh if you want. I'm used to being ridiculed by selfish, so-called geniuses. But this is neither the time nor the place to be discussing humor, or fashion, or patents. There are American citizens who have been swallowed up by this darkness. Their very lives are at stake, and if you want to be funny, then save it for the movies. I understand you're very patriotic, Edison, but I'm afraid things just aren't that simple. This may be the modern day, but we're dealing with a world from the past and a town of witch hunts, where external support just isn't an option. Common sense alone won't get us through this. We need a specialist expertise. That's why we're counting on Media to serve in an advisory role. If a demon god is behind this, then it's going to be an extremely difficult mission. And there's no one better suited to find the line between superstition and magecraft than her. Of course, we really didn't expect this request to upset her like this, like it has. But if she changed her mind after sleeping on it, then all's well that ends well. But... settle down. There's no problem here. Huh? No, wait. Let me try that again. There is no need to make a fuss over things that haven't come to pass, Mesh. I swear by Hecate that I won't let any harm befall Master. What's this? Are you feeling a bit off today or something? I was just in a bad mood last night. Anyway, it's up to Master to make the final call. Am I wrong, little Rider? I'm getting chills. There's something seriously wrong with her. What about you, Mash? Are you coming along too? I can't. I was never part of the cast to begin with, so... Anyway, now that you're all caught up, I'm going to go ahead and begin the race shift preparations. In the meantime, Fetrix, I want you to brief everyone we chose to accompany you. Remember, we don't have a lot of time before you need to leave. I especially want you to keep in mind that this is our one and only chance to race shift. Oh god. Whew. This is all real tense right now. I'm sweating. They're doing a good job of keeping this singularity really tense, you know. Like the writing, the atmosphere. Whew. Real tense right now. Oh. Hi, Mesh. Hello, Senpai. Did you already finish your briefing? Me? Oh, don't worry. I'm fine. I've been working pretty hard these past few days, but I'm feeling better now that I've had a bit of a break. Compared to what you and everyone else who is about to head to Salem must be going through. I'm sorry. You're right. Looking back now, I have been a bit discouraged. It goes without saying at this point, but I'm not a combatant anymore. I'm Da Vinci's assistant and a summoning circle engineer. Having an ordinary Chaldea staff member like myself go to somewhere like Salem would only put me and everyone else in danger. I just wish there was some way I could be useful. 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 That's it. Mash? I'm sorry, Senpai. I just remembered something urgent I have to do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to prepare right away. See you later. Oh god, don't go doing anything careless, Mash. Don't go doing anything careless. Now that was some impressive Kohai power. Oh, she's not gonna do anything stupid, right? I know she really wants to protect us and be there with us after the long journey we went through in the story. Hope she doesn't do anything dumb. Okay, it looks like everyone's all set. We'll be sending a party of 6 into Salem, including Fetrix. Once again, do not let your guard down after making your way past the bounded field. Make sure not to say or do anything that would give the fact away that you aren't originally from the 17th century. Alright, initiating ray shift, sequence. What? Wait! Please, take me with you to Salem. Huh? Well now, that's a pretty last minute request, but I'm afraid we've already filled all the roles we need. There aren't any other... Yes, there is. I've heard that troops like these have a prompter who works behind the scenes to feed the performers their lines. Or the performers their lines. In that case, I believe Senpai will need a dependable Kohai to be his secretary. Don't worry about the scripts. I've already learned them all by heart. I dare say you won't find a better prompter than me on such short notice anywhere, so once again, I request you accompany the rest of the troop. Of course, I'm certain I can be useful as an on-site Chaldea staff member as well. Way to go, Mash! I second that request. You memorized our entire script? Well, well, I'm impressed. I certainly can't argue with that. What do you think, Mr. Showbiz? Does your script need a bit of support? My script is nothing less than perfection itself, however. Even a script perfect means little without actors to bring it to life. A prompter to feed performers, on stage their lines, you say. Such a role could be well crucial to ensuring the success of a performance put on by an amateur cast. Above all, I cannot help but commend her for memorizing the entire script. As such, I am more than happy to support Mash's request. Besides, if the troupe cannot perform convincingly, they are certainly to come under suspicion. To be honest, I think this would be a great help. What do you think, Geronimo? I'm afraid I can't concur. Having a young girl accompany a troupe of performers is bound to invite misunderstandings. It would be dangerous, even without the threat of combat, but I would say that Mash seems to have taken all of that into consideration. In which case, I believe this is Mash's decision to make. I honestly did think it would, did think I could use an assistant, or what if we say she's the troop's leader, little sister? Ah, make Mash our sister, let's do that. Little? If anything, I believe Mash would be more convincing as your older sister. I'll warn you now, Fetrix. Such a pretense would only invite further suspicion. Me? Playing Senpai's older sister? I can see that you're set on this, and the other party members don't appear to have any objections. If Fetrix is okay with it, then I have no real basis to refuse Mash's request. But let me give you this warning. Integrity won't keep you safe in a world of abnormalities. Sometimes you'll need to be straight up, sophist, or to look the other way. Wait, what is that? Sophist? English bad. Okay. At times like that, you'll need to weigh your own principles against the mission's success. Understood. I'll keep that in mind. I'm counting on you, Fetrix. Good luck. Okay, everyone, we're off. Alright then. In that case, I hereby issue the Remnant's Order's final command. Master Fetrix will arrive at Salem Singularity at the current time. Make sure you make full use of your experience to date, and see it to it that you all come back safely from this, especially, exceptional mission. Exceptional mission. Interesting. Final command. Oh god! Game is over, chat. We've reached the end of the game. It's the final mission, and then it's game over. Excellent. Everything looks good with the ray shift. Okay, let's get back to our monitoring duties. All servants remain on standby until further notice. Do you think it was a good idea to let her go along? I knew that Mash would want to go. You were the one who was most against it, Da Vinci. I've nearly been accused of being a witch myself. Oh, not in the broom-flying, wand-wielding, people-cursing sense so much as being thought of as a heretic. Somebody claimed that the autopsies I did for research were evil rituals. I'm sorry to say that back then, I didn't handle it very bravely. Instead of standing up for what I believed in, I found myself at a loss for words. I turned my back to the truth and had to lie about who I really was. All the time that kind of pressure starts to eat away at you at time, it's like poison more than anything else. I just thought that Mash was a little young to go through that kind of torture. Don't be silly. Those who have seen nearly every side of humanity by now, the ugliness of the witch trials, should put a nice bow on the whole thing. Besides, the very notion of sending a troupe of performers into a Puritan village was utter lunacy from its genesis. Indeed, fighting fire with fire, as they say. Huh? Where are Fetrix and the others? Did they already leave? Huh? What are you still doing here? What's going on? Was there a problem with the ray shift? Oh ho, it seems we have gotten our twist rather early in the story. How delightful. How is this delightful? This is terrible. There is no way we can contact them. I've been knocked out this whole time. That wasn't me who went along. That was someone pretending to be me, using a magical disguise. So, we were dealing with someone capable of outwitting a witch. This is bad. Oh god. If you're here, then who's the media who we sent to Salem? Oh god, that just gave me goosebumps. Holy shit. A twist so early? Oh god. Humanity's foundation value? Question mark. 1692 AD. The Forbidden Advent Garden at Salem. Holy shit, plot twist already. Damn, this story is sick right off the bat. Right off the bat. Alright, chat. Let me quickly go over all the comments we've got here. Let's see you guys hype. Damn, this is giving me goosebumps and sweat, man. Oh, this is so cool. This is a really, really cool singularity. It's really cool. Alright, let me just play the announcements as well. Let's see what we've got in chat. Unload. Yo, Beskidor with the Prime for 7 months in a row. Yo, Beskidor, thank you very much for the 7-month Prime in a row, man. I do appreciate it, dude. And, what is that? News wavering FGO? Or no use waiver in FGO? Thank you very much for the follow, man. I do appreciate it. Sorry if I butchered your name. I'm pretty bad at reading out names. Thank you very much for the follow, man. I appreciate it. We just hit the time lock and continue playing. Have to wait 7 more hours down. Feels bad. Feels bad. But damn, this is pretty intense so far. Pretty intense. They're doing a very good job of keeping the pressure high, man. Keeping the pressure high. Keeping everything under mystery as well. They're dangling just enough in front of your nose to, like, you know, get the width of attention and be like, oh my god, what's going on? But not giving you enough information to think, okay, this is going to be boring. They're doing a real good job with the storytelling so far. Alright. I think I've got all the announcements. That is it. Let's pause them for the next part of the story. And we're going back in, chat. We're going back in. Forbidden Advent Garden. Akito's in Salem. The way Shimosa started was pretty cool, but this is pretty neat. Yeah, it is, yeah. Shimosa and so far Salem, they've been really cool. I did like Argratha. It wasn't that bad. Near the end it got better. But I think a lot of people didn't like it because how true it was to actual history, you know. And like the whole slavery thing, which is obviously really bad and should never have been done, but back then it was natural, so. Shinjuku was pretty cool too. I like Shinjuku. But so far, I think all of the EOR remnants have been, or the, you know, Epic of Remnants have been pretty solid. Pretty solid. Alright, let's go back, chat. Diving back into story mode. Oh god, that's a long node. That is a long node. Interesting. Now, a lot of guest servants. We always do guests when we do story for role-playing purposes. But crap, who do we go with? I guess we go with the gold one. The other two are silver. Let's go gold. Let's go gold. Power down? Wait, what? Power down? What is that? Usually explains the mechanic. Nani? Power down? Let's first get the unknown servant in. We're against an assassin. I mean a rider. Let's take MHX, I guess. Probably gonna be like AoE, usually it's simple waves, but we don't know. Let's put our waver in the mix. Oh wait, did we get bonuses then? I don't have any assassins with the bonus though. What happens when we stick them in there? Oh, it's bond rating. Okay. A bondu. Bondurity. But Waver is already pretty much max bonded anyway. Who do I want to bond with? I guess we could do Zanzang. Wait, I've just noticed they're all casters. Obviously because of the mages, I guess. Castadoos. Let's take Umu. See if we can get more courts. Let's remove that for now. Now, how big of an effect is this power down going to have? It's a very interesting mechanic to throw in. Throw in the works. Let's put 20. Let's put that in. Should we have any backup or not? I guess we'll take... I'm kind of not sure if I should farm bond rating here. It's like a good way to get some bond rating, right? Guess we'll just remove that. Hopefully the first node shouldn't be too rough. Usually the nodes aren't too rough to begin with. But then again, Babylonia's first node was pretty rough, but then the other nodes weren't too hard for a couple of the nodes. All right, let's go in. I'm gonna regret trying to farm bond rating, right? Aren't I? You're gonna regret it. What is the thing they say again? Like in Sword Art Online in season 1 when they go back into the dive. Does this mean we've made it inside? It looks like we're in a forest outside of Salem, something before daybreak. I mean, this is what we were trying for, but it's so dark even for night. Is everyone alright? I'm still getting my bearings here. Sure doesn't feel like hospitable though, I'll tell you that much. I figured it'd be pitch black inside the mist, but it's actually a lot brighter than I thought. I'm impressed, Robin. I should have known you'd have great night vision. I could barely see a thing. Do you think you could take guard duty? Sure, you got it. I'll check our watches against the stars later to make sure we're all synced up too. Well then, that didn't take long. I've already got eyes on someone suspicious. Looks like a guy, but if that's a witch, if I ever saw one, just look at his beardy evil eyes. Or beady evil eyes. Are you talking about me? That's Rich. If I were you, I'd hope no one mistakes me for a bandit and shoots me. Stop that, you two. You should at least try to act like performers. What if someone overheard you? Good point. Wait, what the? Damn, you scared me. Oh, I know you. You're Crown Prince Neza, one of the newbies. You've been standing there so still that I mistook you for a wax doll. Dolls lack capacity for thought. You should know, no sign of that. Does that mean you're a doll? Or you no sign of that, you showed no sign of that. Ouch. That's harsh. Guess I deserved that. Sorry, just forget I said anything. Yo, what a cast. Robin, Neza, Zanzan, and Matahari. What a cast. I really like Robin. Robin's pretty cool as Everin. Is everyone here, Mash? Wait, where's Media though? The fake Media. Just a moment, Senpai. Slowly but surely, my eyes are starting to adjust to the dark. Over there. Is that? I see a shadow. Barely. Media? Is that you, right? It's you, right? Can you come closer, please? We need to stick together right now. I know. Ray shifting. Whoever thought it was a good idea to combine magecraft and science? I don't think I'll ever get used to this feeling. Huh? Anyway, that's all 7 of us, including Senpai. Everyone, please make sure you have all your things. Then we'll be on our way. Okay, let's go find that village. Man, I can't believe we're all stuck walking. You'd think Da Vinci could have planted us somewhere a little more convenient. Besides, if we hadn't recovered a wagon to ride, it'd go a long way towards helping the locals, but, oh goddammit, I'll read that again. Besides, if we had covered wagon to ride in, it'd go a long way towards helping the locals buy what we're selling. You really do love complaining, don't you? We were only being able to bring the bare minimum of equipment we need. We'll just have to make deal with what we got. We'll make do. That's always how it is with ray ships. If we need anything else, then we procure it on site. Yeah, I know. We're traveling performers, so we have a whole lot to our names. Guess I should be honored that the Bard himself came up with our little bit of theater. Come to think of it, We will decide on a name for our merry band. Any ideas, Master? I was wondering about that too. We should figure that out before we run into anyone. Okay, let's go with the Fetrix Company. TPC? Huh. The Fetrix Company, huh? That's great. What's so funny? It's not all that bad. You really don't have any manners, do you? Oh, I'm sorry. That was a little too witty for you. I didn't know you great scholars were so hard-headed. I gotta say though, don't you think that it's not all that bad? It's kind of condescending as praise goes. I, I didn't mean it like that, but now that you mention it, I know what you meant. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Thank you, Ringmaster. You're very kind. Senpai, I can't help but notice that Robin and Zanzan are always at your throats. Well, one's the poster boy for, Irreverence. One of them is basically Mr. Reverence. Let's go with that one. Whatever. I know we prepared for it, but it's not like we're sure gonna put on a play. I just, as soon as not cross that bridge if I don't have to. We're for sure gonna put on a play, yeah. Scuffing up my words now. Don't worry, I can always entertain with my dancing. Besides, we also have two beautiful stars right here, right? Huh? Me? I know that Neza is an important character in many Chinese operas, just like Journey to the West, but you're not also talking about me, are you? I sure am. If I have to, I'll even bring Master up on the stage. I can hear the sweet sound of applause now. If Master does it, I guess I can too. Senpai? If that is your wish, Master, I shall do my best. I believe the expression is knock them dead. Neza's a cutie. That doesn't mean actually kill him. It's all pretend. Got it? So don't go shooting at us or the audience. Oh, and there's one last thing I want to make sure of. I get we're going to try to explain our way out of our outfits, but as being performers, costumes, but isn't it going to be a problem that we've got some obviously Asian people here with us? I think we should be okay there. I was concerned about how Senpai would be received here, so I checked his historical records. The late 17th century was also the tail end of the Age of Exploration. At the time, most of the interest in colonization had moved to the New World. But Europe had already had a strong connection to Asia thanks to the East India Company. They regularly imported spices from Southeast Asia, textiles from India, and tea and ceremonies from China. So, since Salem was a British colony, and would later go on to be a thriving port town with lots of trade, the people here may not exactly see Asians every day, but they also shouldn't be unusual that it would make them distrust us. Huh. So, that's so. Figures that the tea would be one of the great British Empire's three base desires. Yeah, you betcha. Tea, tea, and more tea. With maybe a molecule and a pinky finger. With more tea. Be that as it may, we should still prepare ourselves to be treated with prejudice. Indeed. What's more, we do not know for sure that the culture here is the same as the 17th century Salem from our history or not. By the way, Petrix, is there a way for us to contact Chaldea here? Huh? You mean our communications device? Didn't Da Vinci explain all this to us herself, Media? I was present as an assistant myself, but I was preoccupied with making sure Senpai didn't nod off. Yes, of course. I just wanted to review the information, given how important it is. What was the deal with that again? There, you see? Oh, Senpai. I have a special device for that purpose, though it will take some time to set up. So we won't be able to report our safe arrival back to Chaldea until it's done. Can anyone at all use that device? No, only Senpai. Ordinarily, this area wouldn't permit any kind of magical communication at all. But I was told we can get around that by linking the key mechanism to Senpai's command spells, since Senpai has a strong connection to all the servants still at Chaldea. However, this method makes use of a backdoor, a byproduct of sorts that happens when Shiba acts up. So I believe it will only be used for this particular ray shift. That said, it's not as though we're pressed for time. The important thing is that our ray shift here was successful. I see. They really thought this through. Is there something important you need to contact Chaldea about? No, I was just curious. Hold it. I see light up ahead. It's a campfire. Huh? Oh, does this mean we've already at the center of Salem? I doubt it. If that were the case, we'd be seeing fields long before even a hint of houses. There's a fair few people. I can hear them chattering, almost among themselves. We ought to keep out of sight and move in for a closer look. Abby! It's Abby! There she is! I need to take this break real quick. I know we're trying to keep it clean so we can upload it to YouTube, but I need to take this break and read chat real quick because I can see chat moving like crazy with all the Abby spams. There she is, chat! 9 months, my daughter finally makes her appearance. 9 long months we waited. Long have we waited. Many times has Abby's song been activated. And here she is in front of our eyes. My kawaii daughter. For the longest time, we have waited. I was wondering why my chat was starting bumping and you guys were doing bongo chat with Abby. God, you guys are so cute. Damn it. You guys are too cute. Good job, chat. There she is. There she is. Oh, by the way, chat, you don't know this yet. Well, actually, do you know this? Did I tell you? We're getting another Abby emote. I'm pretty sure you guys already know, right? Because we kind of went through the emotes we're getting from the, when we did the voting time. When we did the votes. We're getting 4 emotes. I've told you what 2 of them are. One of them being like our very own Abby Zip emote. Should be done real soon, actually. Real soon. Artists are getting on top of it. Rip clean VOD. It's okay. It wasn't going to be exactly clean uploading it to YouTube anyway. I could probably just download the VOD and edit it and upload it that way, but I don't have an editing program and I don't have the time right now. Alright, chat, let's go back in. Let's go back in. Oh god, I don't know what voice to give Abby now. I don't know what voice to give her, man. She has like a high-pitched voice that I can't do. Do you all have your white ash branches? These are our magic wands. Now, it's time to rap on that door. Tap it 3 times against the earth, against the invisible door. Rat-a-tat-a-tat, rat-a-tat-a-tat, tap. This door leads to the world beyond, and once it opens, a spirit will appear and gift us with a prophecy. What sort of prophecy, Abby? It will tell you things about the future you desire, the boy of your dreams. And also, glimpses of a far away world that's nothing like our own. The spirit will whisper what you must do to make your dreams come true. I want to dress as even whiter than snow, something that's sure to catch his eye. I want it to be brunette, with hair dark as a raven's feathers. I want to know who I'm going to marry one day. Eh! Okay then, everyone, make your wish as you throw your wands into the fire. Shall we sing to do his magic spell too? Yes, let's! Is it gonna be Ring a Ring of Roses? Okay, what the hell is all that? They look like they're girls from the village, but they're all acting, well, crazy. Oh, look how much fun they're having dancing. I wish I could join them. But what are these girls that young doing out this late at night? Could it be a trap or some sort of magecraft ritual? Do you sense any magical energy, Medea? No, but oh, this is bad. Very bad. What is? If anything, the opposite. I sense nothing since we came here. Our magecraft has been severely weakened. Here, let me prove it. Robin, Zanzang, dancing girl, can you change into your spirit forms? Huh? No, I can't. What's going on here? Oh no. Are you no longer servants? Don't tell me you've been incarnated. No, that's not what this is. It feels more like I've been crammed into a temporary human body, than anything. I thought the Spiritron conversion felt a little weird, even after Ray Shift. Man, this is gonna be a real pain in the ass. Who goes there? Oh god, who is that? A zombie? Huh? Is that a zombie? Who are you? Robin, lower your bow. It's just a child. Damn it. I let my guard down when we got here. If she overheard what we were just talking about. Hi there, young lady. What brings you out here? You're outsiders. Senpai? Keep calm and act troopish. You heard Senpai. I mean the ringmaster. Oh dear, I guess she saw us practicing our secret routine. Really, Robin, if we were going to have an audience, the least you could do is get your lines right. Oh, right. Sorry about that. I forgot the enemies don't show up till later again. Not a problem. First to act, first to win. All foes eradicated. Are you friend or foe? Do you offer us the blade or the hilt? Nessa. Hello there, ma'am. I'm sorry if we startled you. As you saw, that scene is not yet ready for the performance. But don't worry, we're not... Uh, uh, that accent... Are you a French soldier? A fugitive? I have to get out of here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She ran off into the woods. You there? Sansa, Mash, wait. We can deal with her later. Something's going on near the campfire. Master? Huh? Ah! Stay together, everyone. They'll pick you up if we get separated. What's going on? Why are there wild beasts so close to the village? Come on, Abby. Let's get out of here. Wait. Let me get a piece of firewood. Otherwise... Ah! Oh god, I can't do a girl screaming voice. We have to stay together. Get back. Grrr. Ah! Grrr. Huh? Man, these New World beasts sure are rowdy. Who are you? Just an old dummy who didn't realize he'd been surrounded by wild beasts, young lady. Too bad. None of them seem like they'd make a good dinner. Hell, they look hungrier than we are. Demonic presence. These beasts. Beasts no longer. I mean Ringmaster. You don't mind if we throw down with these things, right? Wait, Ringmaster. We need to help these girls first. Can't have these things acquiring a taste for people. But hurry. You and Mash get the girls somewhere safe. Let's go with that one. Yes, Senpai. I mean Ringmaster. Your village is down that way, right? Then let's get going. Are we going to battle? Are we going to battle? I can't believe we saw Abby, man. It's my daughter after all these months. Finally see her. Makes her appearance. And so far she looks relatively good. I mean, obviously there's plenty of time for a twist, but... Oh well, as good as one could be doing a ritual in the forest with a bunch of other girls. Innocent girls just playing with rituals. Nothing to be worried about, right? Right, Jack? Come on. We've all done that when we were younger, right? Gone out into the forest with a bunch of guys and girls and did a crazy dance around the campfire and some weird chants. Oh, the gold servant is Neza. I was hoping for a second there. When it was a gold servant, I was hoping it was Abby. I must admit. I thought maybe it could be our Abby. Maybe. But I guess that would be a bit too early in the story. Damn, this music's pretty cool though. Sounds very final boss-ish, like boss-ish, this music right now. Let's see. Sore? Actually, let's just do, Saber! Get to use my Saber, although she's MP1 because we didn't get lucky with MP2. We didn't get blessed. Like that? Chris starts next wave. Catch up and chat while we're waiting. Zeb performance, yeah. You like my scream, Sean? Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Is that a group buff or is it just a increase with your and risk card effectiveness for yourself? I've forgotten MHX's abilities. See, our drop rate against, yeah, okay. Solidewa. Gain a large amount of critical stars, there we go. So then we'll go that into that into sure, wait. Sobiaka. How did Medic make it to Salem? Salute to PP's throat. Nah, my throat is pretty good as long as I stay, you know, hydrated. I can't believe we saw Abby so early though. I didn't think she'd make an appearance for a little bit yet. I didn't think we'd see her. Let me summon for Abby already, yeah. I know, right? PP didn't notice? Wait, what didn't I notice? Wait, what didn't I notice? Oh god, what did I miss? Can't kill this damn wolf. Die, wolf! Saber! Oh, I know what class Abby is, yeah. I know that. Okay. Look at my level. Wait, the level of my servants? No, I didn't pay attention. Crap, what level are they? Were they like level 1 or something? I'm too busy like things rolling back in my mind. Oh, they're half level? Oh, damn. And done. I'll go ahead with Master. You guys finish up here. What's going on here? It's lucky that these creatures weren't too strong, but it seems our strength has been halved. Indeed, this strange false incarnation was more dire effects than I thought. At this point, we may as well be human. We might be in for some tough battles down the road. Yes, it is difficult, but worry not, Sansan. The Buddha always watches and protects in forsaken lands. That's very reassuring, Neza. How did it feel to you, Medea? Oh, wait, did you sit that battle out? So, it only affects combat. What is it, Medea? Don't tell me you're upset that we beat them before you could. True, we might have overdone it. That albino girl saw us fighting albino girl? I see. That could be very bad. Do we silence her? Be careful how you say things, Neza. I'm really worried about one of those beasts attacking her. I'm going to go take a look around. Okay, I'll examine these beasts in the meantime. No, I was too busy, like, thinking about what's coming up in the story and reading your guys' chat. I didn't pay attention to levels too much. Are you alright, Senpai? Senpai? Oh, I mean... Thank you for helping us. We couldn't have escaped from those mean beasts otherwise. You saved our lives. Sansan, Neza, and Medea are putting out the campfire. They'll be here soon. Oh goodness. Are you okay? Here, I've got you. I'm sorry. Now that we're out of danger, I was just so relieved that my legs gave out. I'm Petrix. Can I ask your name? Petrix? Should not be Papa. Of course. I'm Abigail. I live here in Salem. Who are you people? You don't look like sailors or merchants. We almost never get pilgrims or travelers here, and you're all wearing such strange clothes. We're the Fetrix Company, a band of traveling performers. This is Fetrix. He may be young, but he's still the ringmaster our troop is named after. We got lost on our way to Salem, and we ended up here in the woods. But performers? Oh wow! You mean you came all this way from Boston? That's wonderful! I've never seen a real play before. Everyone's going to be so happy. By the way, do you know today's date, Abigail? She's got a cute smile, chat. She's so cute. My daughter, she's so cute. Oh, please, call me Abby, Mr. Ringmaster. Today's date? Well, it's already past midnight, so that would make it April the 21st. Yesterday was the Sabbath. The year 2? Oh, it's the year of our Lord, 1692. 1692? Of all the years to come to Salem. Abigail, who are these people? Oh, Uncle. Huh? I don't know what you were thinking, taking the other children out into the woods in the middle of the night. But I'll deal with that later. Yes, Uncle. As for these people, Uncle, they're... Well now, traveling performers, The other girls tell me you saved them from a pack of wild beasts. And you are the troop ringmaster, huh, Mr. Fetrix? You must let me express my thanks. Let's see, it would be quite difficult to find a decent inn in Salem at this hour. And I can't have such upstanding young men and women staying at the same flophouse as those ruffians from the wharf. Why don't you all come and stay at my home, if that's alright with you? Yeah, that sounds great, thank you. Wow! Do you mean it, Uncle? That's wonderful. It's the best news I've heard in my whole life. That's enough, Abigail. You put all your friends in terrible danger. Once we get home, you'll go straight to your room. You will have only water tomorrow for your breakfast and lunch. And of course, you are forbidden to speak to our guests until I give you permission. Don't worry, I'll sneak her some bread. It's fine. Okay, I understand. I will do as you say. Oh yes, I still haven't introduced myself. I am Randolph Carter, a scholar. I adopted Abigail as my own daughter after her parents... my sister and her husband passed away. Now then, it's getting rather chilly, and we can't talk more tomorrow. You'll feel much better after you've rested up from your journey. It's nice in a nice and warm bed. I'll have Tibuta fix you something to eat too. Tituba? Tituba? Not my silent name, right? Tituba. Don't worry, I'll adopt her. She's my daughter, chat. She's my daughter. Hopefully she'll come home next week in the summons. I think I've got like two. It should be about 3 packs ready. So what's that? 500 quartz, I think. And like 6 tickets so far. Chuck at Abby. Hopefully we get MP1 in that amount. Usually, you know, average is like 360. Average, air quotes, 360 for SSR. So maybe, we'll see. Time will tell. Yeah, because I've got 3 packs. I've got 160 quartz now, and I'm going to buy like another 2 packs. So yeah, just under 500. And who knows what we get from the calendar, right? Because we get day 8 soon. I also get my login reward real soon too. Login reward. Let's catch up with chat real quick again while I'm taking a drink. Abby is so cute though. It's like seeing my daughter after a long lost time, like she's been away on holiday. I've not seen her for years. Years? Oh shit, is the Persona 5 announcement been done yet? Crap. I had the second tab open as well. The P5R limited edition has a Joker mask. The pre-order? Yo, I need to check that out real quick. Quick break. Crap, I can't believe I missed it. Coming to the West in 2020. I missed the announcement thing. No! Was there like a live thing or something? Can someone give me the YouTube link? I can't believe I missed it. I've been watching this link for weeks as well, like having the countdown. Is it already on Amazon? Persona 5R. That's not even on Amazon yet. 5 Real. Official website. Hopefully there's no sound to be loud. It's available on the end of March. The end of March. Oh, there it is, the pre-order edition, steel case edition with a. Wow, that looks pretty cool. I might try one of the. Are they doing limited copy though? Are they doing limited copy? Pre-order now. No retail is available for purchase at this time. Oh, so you can't pre-order it just yet. They're just showing you what you get with the pre-order. It's not actually available for pre-order just yet. Alright, let's watch this video before we carry on with Salem. Take a quick interlude. Gives my voice a chance to not blow out. Alright, chat. It's a 1-minute trailer. Let me get the screen and go back to Christmas time for a minute. Show desktop. Hide this. Wait. That's not desktop capture. That's desktop capture.
You are held captive. I beg you.
Oh, this music. Can't wait to play through this game again. Such a good game. Soundtrack is just amazing. A brand new character as well. She looks so cute, the brand new character. Oh, her transformation's a bit lewd.
What a pleasant surprise.
Her name's Kazumi? I wonder if I can remember all the test questions if they're the same. But you can play pool and darts?
Counting on you, Joker.
Oh, I remember the food challenge.
Yes! Bullseye!
Fruitaba! She looks cool, man. Wait, what gun did she have? She's got a cool sword, though. Like a French saber. What gun did that new chick have? A ranged weapon. Some kind of pistol. Persona 5 Royale. Yo, I want to date the new girl, okay? The new chick. She, Kazumi, was it? She looks super cute and she's a red-haired ponytail. You guys know I love ponytail or twin tail. I want to date the new chick. Want to date the new chick? What do you think of that, chat? What did you think? Pretty hype. Pretty damn hype. Anyone else in chat super hyped for more Persona 5? Super hypoo. Thank you for that link, Nameless. Appreciate it, man. Alright, the date? What's wrong with the date, Jeeks? Bum 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 ba da dum bum ba da da dum. It sounds like he's gonna invite into his home, drug them and eat them alive. Nani? Nani? Isn't Abigail in like 3 days? It's usually a week after, right? So Abigail's gonna be on the 9th. When because on JP it released like a week after the story. So on JP it came out like uh on JP they had their banner released. The story was released on the 27th of November. Then Abby's banner was on the 3rd, so it was almost a week after. So if NA follow the same trope as JP, Abby's banner should be live in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. 5, 6 days. It should be on the 9th because it was 27. Yeah, it was a day early, so it was 6 days on JP. So 6 days from Monday would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It should be Saturday or Sunday. Should be interesting. How much of the story did you miss? I'm not sure. A decent amount, I guess. Hi, you have 62 tickets. Left 37 tickets. Got Cirque. Could have been worse. Oh, nice, man. Could have been much worse, yeah. Still got a decent amount of tickets left, right? People are losing their minds about 5 to win last chapter. What is that? On JP apply started on 6th December. How did NA get behind? Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. So we've been ahead of schedule for like 5 to 6 days for the last 8 months, but then we've been so far behind since the 24-hour maintenance. Everything's been like messed up. Everything messed up. Do I get Persona 5 R? Yeah, hell yeah, you do. I haven't finished P5 either. I got to the very end, but then my season of work started when it first came out, and I was super busy that year. I didn't almost had time to like I worked, came home, slept, then worked again. So just as I got, I locked myself away in like a room for like a week or two to try and complete it, but I wasn't able to complete it before I went back to work because I was doing like 100% playthrough as well. So I played it for like many hours, didn't complete it, and then it was worked crazy for like 4 months in a row with like almost no time to do anything. So it kind of fell on the back burner. Then I heard about P5R, so I thought, okay, we'll just wait and I'll replay through it. P5R anyway. So I didn't complete it, and I'm still getting P5R. Actually, I'm confused. This R personas should make them be Tensei the same franchise or spin-offs? Oh, they're spin-offs. It's not the same franchise. Yeah, like G said, hasn't had the tag for a long while. Alright, chat. We're going back in. Going back into story time. Do we have any announcements I need to unpause? No, we're good. How much have I got left, chat? Have we got like is it all of this one and then I have to wait, or is there another bar after this one before we go back in? Have we got like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more nodes, and then we done, or is there more? There's a lot. Cool. Okay. All right. Link start, chat. Link starter. Wait, who is that? She's cute. Oh, is that the new Choco Bunny? There we go. She's lewd, but she's also cute. Whew. Thank you for fetching the water, Tituba. I guess that will be my lunch today. Oh, please cheer up, Miss Abby. Where are our guests? Inside. Uncle went off to see the Reverend. I'm sure I will be scolded again later. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. How's the comms coming along, Mash? I double-checked everything, Senpai, but I'm afraid it's not working. Well, that's not good. I guess not even Da Vinci's inventions always work perfectly. Oh, Neza, try swallowing your oatmeal before you speak. Oh, she was trying to talk? Come to think of it, weren't you supposed to be, smarter? Because stuffing your face when you're a guest in someone's home isn't really a good look, especially when it's in a village that doesn't exactly seem to be overflowing with wealth. Besides, oats are for horses, not people. Huh? I could do a much better job of preparing this dish, even with the same ingredients. This village just doesn't have the luxury of caring about food. I do feel hunger in this body. It must be an effect of this false incarnation. Of course, I expect we would be regarded with suspicion if we were never seen eating. Try not to be so uptight about it. It'll make things a lot easier if we go around playing up our image as a bunch of weirdos. I was actually able to check out the entire village. I also spread the word about our troop a bit, so make sure you guys play along. You already finished investigating the area? It's not even afternoon yet. Way to go, sis. Like you always say, first things first. So what is the story with this village? Like Abby said, this is definitely Salem in 1692. All the villagers' stories line up. They're Puritans who originally hail from England. Most of them are farmers, fishers, and hunters, but there's also blacksmiths and clothes dyers, not to mention the Reverend. They're all industrial colonists who woke up with the sun and spend their days at hard work. There are a number of warehouses at the wharf, along with boats headed for England and the West Indies. Huh? That doesn't line up with our history. Salem didn't get a major wharf until... Did you say boats? As in sailors? What, Media? I mean, that certainly makes sense, given that this is a port town. I wonder who that is. You kind of seemed like Liddy for a moment there. Don't you lump me in with that child? I guess there must have been an error in Sheba's observations, but still. I noticed the other deviations from our history too. People still live in their lives here, just like they did in our own 17th century, but they're not all the same people. There are lots of folks here who aren't on the list of Salem's original residents. I haven't yet managed to figure out what it is they have in common, though. I see. Guess that means that this isn't the Salem of our past. For my part, I scoped out the local topography around Sunrise. And whilst the distinctive topography and architecture is still all there, the rest seems kind of off. There's a bunch of stuff that doesn't line up with the historical files Chaldea gave us. Then, as we suspected, this village is actually a cunningly crafted fake. So, whoever built this place is using a 17th century Salem as a cover, and swapped out both the buildings and the citizens? Does this mean there's a major historical change on par with the singularity from the incineration of humanity taking place? What about the people living in the modern Salem? That's just it. There can't be more than 16, maybe 1700 people here. And I didn't see any place that there could be used to keep 50,000 people who disappeared. 50,000 people? I wonder where they could have gone. And that's not our only problem. There's also the witch trials. In our own history, 1692 was the very year when the accusations that started the witch trials began. This is a peaceful village, or at least it looked that way on the surface. But I did also see farmers arguing pretty fiercely about who owned certain lands. They looked like they were nursing some major frustrations underneath their pious exteriors. I don't blame the girls here for wanting to step out and let their hair down for a bit like they did last night. I took a peek at their grain stores, and it didn't look like they had much to spare. They must have had a string of poor crops. Seemed to me like they just barely made it through the winter. This house just happens to be on the more prosperous side. There aren't many homes here that could accommodate guests. For that matter, what if the images we got from Sheba were falsified? I can't deny that's a possibility, but... Oh my! Oh my! Are you already discussing your next performance? I hope that means you slept well, honored guest. Oh, Tiduba, right? That's right. My name is Tiduba. I'm Mr. Carter's servant. A servant? Her? I apologize for prying, Tiduba, but may I ask? You wish to know where I'm from? I was born on the island of Barbados, in the Caribbean. A lot of people like me were. I may work for Mr. Carter now, but I used to work for Miss Abby's father. We were told that Abigail's parents passed away. That's right. They were both killed by native people in the forest. Miss Abby was very sad about it for a long time. I felt terrible for her. I don't know what would have become of her if her uncle hadn't come along. She's doing much better these days. It's wonderful to see her smiling and happy again, but now I hear she was nearly killed by wild beasts in the woods. She must have been frightened out of her mind. She's really cute. Killed by Native Americans? So this is why Geronimo said he would be putting Master in unnecessary danger if he came along. Most people were pretty wary of the outsiders after having their parents killed. But not her. She still seems real trusting. Yes, she really is a very kind girl. She even goes out of her way to talk to servants like myself. I hope you don't mind if we ask other questions, but last night there was another girl besides Abigail's friends who... Oh, would you look at the time? I'm sorry, but I need to get back to work. I hope you enjoy your stay. Thanks for the food. Something fishy. Master, a word if you don't mind. What do you make of that servant? She seems pretty fine. Like she was suspiciously looking? You mean parental beauty? Or beauty? Beautiful? No, I thought she was rather homely. Is something wrong, my dear? It's not safe to stay here. This place is being subjected to something more powerful than we realize. Really? I say this place brings back some nice memories. The wind whistling through the gaps in the walls, the sour smell of the horse shit, the head-splitting sound of the church bells, the bland, pasty food, the boring British small talk. Those hardly sound like pleasant memories. At any rate, don't forget that we have a duty to help those missing 50,000 people, Robin. Oh right, sorry, I almost forgot about that. Frog legs. Here's hoping along after. Wait, what? What was that? Frog legs. That line threw me off. Here, hopping along after us. Would you care to say that again? Now, don't start that again, you two. Tiduba didn't do anything wrong. Why are you doing this? I think that came from outside. That was Abby's voice. Guess the head of the house is back. Is her dad or uncle like an ass? Step aside, Abigail. I am the one who deserves to be punished, uncle, not her. Didn't you say that yourself? Miss Abby. The other girls and their parents say otherwise. They say that Tiduba taught you a heretical ritual, and that you all snuck out last night to attempt it. I had them promise to keep quiet about it, so that rumors don't spread around the village. What in the world were you doing in the forest, in the middle of the night, Abigail? Is something wrong, Mr. Carter? Mr. Fredericks, I'm afraid my niece was doing something even worse than I believed last night. Unfortunately, I can no longer permit her to attend your production. What? But that's not fair. Come on, we were all kids once, right? This is no mere mischief to be simply excused. It is fortunate you were there to ensure no one was hurt. But Tiduba must be punished, and harshly, for filling the children's heads with this nonsense. She will no longer be permitted to be in their company. Punished? No, Uncle, please. She only told me because I begged her to. Please, Uncle, punish me instead. I'll take whatever punishment you see fit. Even lashes, so please don't you dare lash my daughter, man. If he lashes my door, we're gonna become murderers, okay? It's okay, Miss Abby. I'll be alright. If I may, Mr. Carter, I understand how frustrating it must be to have a young girl under your charge running off at night. You must have been worried sick about Abby to have come so deep into the woods searching for her. That said, I know that wild beasts sometimes go after livestock, but I thought that they usually stayed away from people these days. That's true. It's not just the beasts we need to worry about. The nearby forest is very dangerous. Some even say that this land is cursed, that God himself has forsaken our village. Abigail. Abigail! She just ran off. Mr. Carter. Leave her be. As for you, Tituba, you are no longer to talk about your hometown, no matter how much the other girls beg you. Is that clear? Yes, Mr. Carter. I promise I won't do it again. I'm so sorry about this. What should we do, Senpai? What do you think? We need to look for clues about the demon god. So that's much what she thinks. Honestly, I'm worried about Abigail. I understand that the mission comes first, but... Okay, you go help Abigail, Mash, and we'll go search for clues. I see. So we'll split into teams and investigate the village further. Understood. Our goal is to find someone trustworthy. Alright, Neza, what do you say we go check out the ocean? Detection ability, full power. I'll stay in Mr. Carter's house. Master, it'll be dangerous to go around dressed like this anyway. And there's something nagging me about Tituba. I'll keep an eye on Mr. Carter too while I'm at it. Got it, sounds good. One sec, chat. There's a lot of things I'm suspicious about right now. Like, the uncle has Tituba as a servant now. Does he mean servant as in butler kind of servant? Like maid? Or summon servant? Like, no one's questioned that yet. Because she clearly doesn't really fit in. Humu Humu. Questions. Questions. Abby so far seemed like a nice girl. So far, but could be a twist. Have to wait and see. Those must be the traveling performers. What were they thinking coming all the way to perform in a village like this? What a disgraceful outfit. I could never let my child see that. I hope they put up about a play about a romance between aristocrats. Hi there, young man. I hope you'll come out to see the Fetrix Company perform. I thought I was used to being stared at, but this is something altogether different. Remember, we're supposed to be entertainers now, so you can't get angry, no matter what they say to you. I know, but I can't help being French. They just confirm that French people are angry. I'm just as out of place here. Besides, you can pass on an educational gentleman as long as you keep quiet. In my case, I just come across as a roamer who came to the New World to make my fortune. These villagers may not care for the British Army, but they don't have much love for the French either. In fact, this British settlement and France are currently at odds with one another. Only 40 miles north, the French army led Native Americans against a northern British colony, completely wiping it out. Naturally, the British retaliated, and the respective colonies ended up fighting a fearsome battle. The competition for resources is fierce between colonies. War is all but inevitable. Truth be told, my great-grandfather, the first head of our family, was part of the French colonial army himself. He was deployed to Canada, but he must have taken part in skirmishes around this area as well. I see. No wonder why you have such complex feelings about this place. Retaliation after retaliation. Soldiers sacrificing their lives to avenge the loss of their commanders. Did I say commanders or did I say comrades? Yeah. Is that why you and Robin are always arguing? You really should stop taking shots at him. You're barking up the wrong tree there. He is the one who keeps provoking me. And you're at least partially to blame for that. As long as you're going to be working together, you need to find ways to get along. Sometimes other people just have their own way of doing things, and that's okay. I'm trying to be as accommodating as I can. I just... oh, isn't that... Yes, that's the girl we saw last night. I've been looking for her too. This girl, something is so off. I mean, the art is so different. There's something obviously seriously wrong with her. I can't believe Whiteley is out about in broad daylight. Wait, am I saying that right? Whiteley? Watelli? 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 I think I'm saying that right. You've got a lot of nerve coming out now when you never show your face at church. I'm just going to buy whale oil. Whale oil? And just what are you going to do with that? Are you going to use it for another blasphemous spell, or... Pardon me, has this girl wronged you somehow? Who are you? Oh, you're one of those traveling performers. That's right, my name is Zanzan. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Tell me, what possible use would this girl have for oil besides lighting a lantern? What could she possibly have done to warrant such treatment? What business is it of yours? Charles, we just talked about this. Are you threatening me? No, that was not my intention. I apologize if I offended you. Huh, what a strange man. He's gone now. Well, I guess that worked out in the end. So, do you live in this village? The fugitive from last night? Your performers? That's right. I'm sorry for frightening you. She hasn't let her guard down at all. Would you mind if we asked you about what happened last night? Anything you can tell us would be a big help. That really surprised us, seeing something like that happen right after we got here. Did Abby say something to you? Oh, so you're a friend of Abigail's? That makes this a lot easier. Stop it. Nobody's friends with me. Lavina. My name is Laviana Wedley. Everyone in Salem knows my family and hates them. Did you think that old man was just yelling at me for no reason? He wasn't. The whole village hates what we're doing. I don't blame them. So, your family is tying you down. I am Charles Henry Zanzan. I may be French, but I'm not your enemy. Are you defending me? Why are you being nice to me? Is it because of how I look? I'm an albino, a freak, a living skeleton. All of your albinism means is that you were born without enough melanin. That's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just a part of who you are. I don't find it ugly at all. However, it would behove you to eat better, if you don't mind me saying so. You're an idiot. If you want to show your to succeed here, you should just stay away from me. We would never change admission to a child. We would never charge admission to a child even. Isn't that right, Matahari? To children. Of course not. We hope to see you at our show, Lavina. If you like, we'd even be happy to provide a seat where you can watch in privacy without worrying about the rest of the audience. Am I saying her name right? Lavinia? Lavinia? Then I just have one request. What's that? Don't tell Abby I was there last night. Our horn just grew. What? If you do, I'll tell everyone else what I saw. I'll tell them you used magecraft to kill beasts. I saw the whole thing. Huh? Why is she so certain about that? So, you wish to keep your presence a secret from Abigail, do you? I can see that this is very important to you. So, what will you do? Alright, we promise we won't tell her. Don't talk to me again, okay? I'm afraid we can't promise that. Lavinia? I think I'm saying that name right. Guess we've got a problem on our hands. Could an ordinary child be so unbothered after seeing a fight like that? The Wedley family, huh? I think we'd better look into them as well. That's all well and good, but... You kind of looked to me like you cared more about her than her possible connection to Demon God Pillar. Are you sure we can trust her? I am, yes. Really? Now, well, never mind for the time being. Let's go report this to Master. I wonder how Robin and the others are doing. So she's very defensive of Abby. Robin, suggestion, listen. What is it, Prince Neza? If you've got something secret to tell me, make it quick. Cause there's a sweet little tavern over there, with my name on it. On duty, drink not, want not. I mean, Robin, listen, have a suggestion. Yeah, what is it already? This area, strange, unrealistic. Therefore, no sense in sneaking. Why does she talk like that? We capture villagers, question them individually. Rational, efficient. Is she a robot? Can we handle, or we can handle, anyone who resists? Certain, unnecessary. Ah, I see. No wonder you were the cast in the period piece. Naturally. You're, kinda chafing under the whole slow, methodical investigation thing, huh? I don't blame you. If we wanted to run it and start throwing our weight around to find out what we're looking for quickly, we could do that. We're servants, and they're just ordinary people. It'd be way easier to handle than monsters. That said, I won't pretend like I've got everything all figured out, but even though we can feel the runaway demon god pillars aura all around us, we're still trying to figure out what's really going on here. You still haven't been at Chaldea for all that long. You weren't with us traveling back in time during the restoration of humanity. Back then, we had to be real careful not to interfere too much, or we could have ended up changing history. There's still a chance of that happening here, but we still had to be careful. Careful not to bring along anything that didn't exist in this time, so we could get here to begin with. And we're dealing with this false incarnation nonsense weakening us. If we just stormed in and made enemies of the whole town, we might have wound up dead. They could have brought a whole milita against us or something. We always had the option of brute force, where necessary in other singularities, but here, I think that might actually be the worst thing we could do. I'm pretty sure Mass has picked up on this too, you know? If you were to ask him, he'd tell you that the violence isn't the answer here in Salem. It's kind of like we're trying to make our way through the dense fog with someone else holding onto our lifeline. Don't know about you, but I sure don't want to accidentally break one of this world's rules we don't know yet about and just get knocked right off the stage. As long as we don't know who we're up against, it's best to act like each step could be our last. Besides, we're out here trying to keep these people safe, remember? This is a peaceful village of innocent people. We have no call to go around hurting them, right? Pondering, reconsidering. Understood. We'll play along. Really? Awesome. Good to see you can listen, unlike a certain frog I could mention. Right then, let's go try some of that Caribbean imported rum. No drinking. Hinders investigation. Out of the question. Come on, you're kidding, right? Don't get all straight-laced on me now, your highness. This is kind of cute. I kind of want to roll on her now. So the sea is right past the wheat fields. This whole area must be grassland. I read that land like this, that's shared and managed by the whole village, is called a common here. This should be the site Abby ran off to. I wonder where she could be now. By the way, Senpai? Wait, this is the image from that thing, right? This is the image we saw. Did you think there was something a little strange about Media? I thought I was just imagining things before we race shifted, but now... You know, she was acting strange. So you thought so too then? She just doesn't seem like herself somehow. At first, I thought she might just be upset about how we asked her to come to this place that's best known for its witch trials. But then she was eager to help me set up the comms device last night. I'm just not sure what to think anymore. I'll see what I can find out. I trust your intuition, Mash. Senpai, thank you. I appreciate that. Mash real quick on the uptake as always. Of course, I hope I'm wrong about this. We made it through the bounded field and into Salem. No matter how peaceful the scenery may be, this is still enemy territory. It's enmity possibly we've played into their hands without realizing it. Look, there's a gold rabbit hopping around there. A gold rabbit? Huh? Where did that come from? A gold rabbit? Where? Where is it? Wait, that's not a gold rabbit. That's golden hair. It's Abby. Ah, don't tease me like that, senpai. Oh, we called Abby a golden ribbit. Golden Usagi. She's cute though. And her little teddy bear. It's adorable. Oh, hello, Mr. Ringmaster. Hello, Mash. Did you come all this way looking for me? I'm sorry for running off like that. I promise I'll go home soon. I would just like to stay out here a little longer. Abby. I'm sorry. I made someone as wonderful and as nice as you worry, Mash. I know it was all my fault. And I know that Uncle was just being sensible. He's completely right. I was thoughtless and I put my friends in danger. I even ended up getting Tituba in awful trouble when she didn't do anything wrong, and after she told me such wonderful tales from her homeland too. After that, I shouldn't be allowed to watch your show like I did nothing wrong. I don't know what to say to her. Is there any way we can cheer her up, Senpai? Why don't we take a little walk? A walk? Okay, I love going on walks. There's a path to the beach down that hill over there. The wind's not too cold today, so I bet it's perfect weather for a walk. It's really nice out, right? Yes, it's lovely. Oh, I almost forgot. Uncle has said that I'm not supposed to talk to the guests. What about talking to friends? Oh yes, that's a wonderful idea. You're fun, Mr. Ringmaster. She's really cute and innocent right now, but I'm afraid there's going to be a massive twist and she's going to be super evil on the inside. What are some of your favorite things, Abby? My favorite things? I'm so glad you asked, Mr. Ringmaster. I have so many, it's hard to keep track. Let's see, one of them is definitely pancakes. Hey, she's a girl after my own heart. I was wondering if the pancake thing was just online only, like online art, but she actually loves pancakes. And pancakes are my favorite breakfast. I adore fluffy pancakes with lots of butter and crisp bacon on top. Oh, and more than anything, I love mashed potatoes covered with piping hot gravy. There's nothing better than that. That does sound incredibly delicious. Gravy, huh? I've heard of it before, but I've never actually had it. What's it like? Oh goodness, Mash! You've never had gravy before? Do they not make it in Europe? It's a scrumptious sauce made by using the juices from cooked meat. The grown-ups all like to put it on turkey and steak, but I really love it on potatoes. It's not the kind of thing you have every day either. You only get to enjoy it on Thanksgiving. It's too bad you and the rest of the factory company didn't come during a holiday, Mr. Ringmaster. It has been a while since we celebrated anything, though. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. Still, the meal that Titibu made for us was very good in its own right. I'd never had porridge before either, so it was quite novel. Haha, it's okay, Mash. I understand. You don't have to be so polite. Titibu does the best she can with what little we have. But I know that porridge isn't something seasoned travelers like you would really love. I'm sorry. I guess you saw right through me. Tituba cares a lot about being frugal, though I'm not sure why. Maybe it has to do with her own beliefs. So, when she makes porridge, she'll water down the milk and skimp a lot on the honey. I'm not sure if Uncle just doesn't mind, or if he likes how she saves him money, but he never says a word about it. There are so many things Salem is missing. Do you like this village, Abby? Oh, you want to know how I feel about Salem? Nobody's ever asked me that before. I'm not quite sure how to answer. Were you born here, Abby? Yes, I was. There was a comet in the sky the year I was born. It was so big you could see it even during the day. I don't remember seeing it myself, but I'm sure it must have been a wonderful sight. Anyway, I'm sure Salem pales in comparison to some place like Boston. But even this town has a lot going for it. Uncle told me that its name comes from the word Jerusalem. You know all about Jerusalem, right? Every good Christian does. It's the holy city that was once ruled by both King David and King Solomon. The Knights of the Crusades headed east to find it, but our Pilgrim Fathers set sail for the west instead. When they arrived in the New World, they founded the towns of Plymouth, Boston, and Salem. It must have been really hard when they first arrived, but now ships come here from around the world. And you saw how big our rye fields are, right? Can you believe this all used to be a woodland at once? God was kind enough to let us put down roots here and settle. We're truly blessed. You're very proud about being part of Pioneer Village, aren't you? Of course I am. It's where I was born and raised, after all. Isn't everyone proud of where they grew up? Yes, that's right. I think I can understand how you feel, if only a little. This is how history was made, after all. Plus, at this time, New England was still a British colony that hadn't yet declared its independence as America. America? Who's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Just forget I said anything. Oh God, Mash. That's right. The people of Salem are still technically British, even if they did become colonies to seek their independence. I have to remember, they're not servants, and I don't have any modern day knowledge. Have you ever been anywhere besides Salem, Abby? Well, no, not yet. I haven't left Salem in my whole life. Really? Not even once? No, not even once. Everything I know about Boston, I heard from others. I'm sorry for misleading you. I just love hearing about other towns and other countries. Say, Mr. Ringmaster, you and your company here have performed all over Europe and other colonies, right? What sort of show did you put on in Boston? Did you stop by Jamestown too? Is it true that New York has stores where you can buy tea and porcelain from the Orient? Oh, I really wish I could see your show, but since I can't, could you at least tell me about the different countries you've been to? Would that be alright, Senpai? Sure, we can't tell you everything though. I'll ask your uncle if you can attend too. Hmm. I wanna say the second one because I want her to attend, man. She's gotta see our show. I'll ask your uncle if you can attend too. I mean, I don't think the uncle's gonna give up, so let's go with the first one. Sure, we can't tell you everything though. Really? That's wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Ringmaster. That's great. I love hearing about foreign countries too. How do you feel about your uncle? Um, Uncle Carter is very responsible and quiet and strict. Everyone in the village is very pious, but I think they're also very stubborn and they don't like to admit when they've made a mistake. But when Uncle starts talking to them in his calm voice, they always seem to accept what he says. I see. So the other villagers really trust him, don't they? Yes, they do. He teaches at Harvard, Divinity School in Boston after all. He studies the Orient there. I don't really know quite what he researches, but he always has fascinating things to share about foreign countries. He's told me some really unusual stories about faraway lands, like the Qing Dynasty, I think, and the Muhagao Empire, and a place called Zipang. They're also so fascinating. I see. It sounds like your uncle is where your love from foreign countries come from then. I guess he must be. Well, I do love hearing stories like that, but my very favorite thing is when I tell them to my friends and let my imagination run wild. I especially enjoy telling them to Laviana. She's always so very interested to hear them. Laviana? Is that your friend? Is that a friend of yours? Yes. She's the same age as me, so she was also born in the year of the comet. She's the best. I always love talking with her. None of the other girls have much interest in foreign countries, so they only ever ask about boring questions. But Laviana loves to read, so she knows all sorts of things. Sometimes I think she knows more than Uncle. Sometimes we even come here to watch the sea together. But did you and Laviana have a fight or something? Lavinia, no, it's Lavinia, isn't it? Lavinia, I've got to remember it's Lavinia. Yes, this time you saw right through me, Mr. Ringmaster. I must have upset her somehow, because lately she just won't come talk to me. I asked her about it, but she kept refusing to answer, so after a while, I got upset too. But she's still my best, most cherished friend. Being apart has helped me realize that. I noticed there were a number of your friends of yours at the secret gathering last night, though. Does that mean, Lavinia was among them? I secretly sent her an invitation, but she never showed up, just like I knew she wouldn't. I wonder, could that girl be the one who ran off in the forest? I talked to Tutubo about this, and she gave me some advice. She told me to be honest with myself and think about whether I'd done something to hurt her without knowing or meaning to. She recommended I ask myself 3 questions. So what were they? First, have I pretended to be someone I'm not? Second, have I jumped to any conclusions about her? And third, have I been neglecting to pay attention to tomorrow because I'm still nursing a grudge from yesterday? Tutubo said that? I see. After that, I realized there were a lot of things. Lavinia. I've got to get that name right. I keep forgetting it. Lavinia. It's got to be Lavinia, right? Lavinia could be angry at me for, and I don't know what to apologize for first. May I say something? Does Lavinia have white hair and very pale skin? Yes, that's right. Have you already met her, Mash? Yes, I actually saw her in the forest last night. I guess I hadn't told you yet. Oh no, Mash. No, you weren't meant to say that. Really? Do you mean it? Then she showed up after all. I'm so glad. I'm just sorry I didn't notice she was there. Now I have something else to apologize to her about. No! The events are going along, like, in a very bad manner. She just told Sanson that we're not meant to tell her she was there. Oh god. So that was Laviana, huh? Lavinia. Oh no. Whoa, so you saw her too, Mr. Ringmaster? Some people tease her about the way she looks. Some go even further and say she looks downright sickly. But I think she's beautiful. She looks just like a star fairy, don't you think? If you ever make fun of her, I'll never forgive you. Don't worry, neither Senpai nor any of us would ever do that. Hey, look, I can see a sailboat on the other side of the pasture. It sounds kind of heated over there. I can hear people shouting angrily. Did a new ship just dock? The sailors can be kind of rough. The wharf is just past this grassland, but... Eck! Senpai, that was a gunshot. It came from the direction of the wharf. I hope it's not a mutiny. Hey, it's the Indians! The Indians are attacking! Huh? From the sea? I'll go and hide. I'll go hide and take a closer look. Then one of ours head for the wharf. Yeah, that's Robin's down there, right? Yes, I believe Robin and Nezza did. Abby, are you alright? Let's get you back to the village before... Gah. Abby? Outside. Can't go outside. Salem, outside Salem, nothing but pain and suffering. Everyone who comes from outside is... Oh god. There are so many things going on in this story. Like, there's 3 different things going on. Damn, Oriental. Who do you think you are, parting your blade at me? You ain't leaving here alive now until you get down on the floor and beg for your mercy. A blade, preposterous, third-rate seaman. The true blade of my fire-tipped spear is red-hot flame. Your flimsy arms, will they continue to blunder? The next strike will be no mere scratch. The hell, this wench is off her rocker, and here, where does she get that thing from anyway? That was amazing. Did you just deflect her shots? Was that magic? Are you acrobats or something? Grr, not acrobat. I am martial artist. Yeah. Sorry about this, gents. Would you mind putting that away? Scary looking muskets and knives now. We're just trying to relax before our big show. I hope you can understand. Oh, you're the ones who started it. And I absolutely understand you're upset, but can we just keep it cool, since this is a tavern and all? What's the big idea, Nessa? What are you trying to pull here? You would have me remain silent in the face of such shame. What happened? What's going on here? Are you two fighting? God, let's wipe the floor with them. I just jump in the door and just say, fight! Let's go with a more rational opinion. Indeed, affirmative, of course. Now is the time. Let's slip the dogs of war. Mash, Roommaster, glad to see someone else with their head on straight here. Go on, talk some sense into this idiot. These seamen, the root of evil, therefore, I shall cut them down, where they stand. Oh, yeah? You're still on about that, wench. If you're trying to draw in customers, you're doing a terrible job. And, what are you supposed to be anyway? Another Oriental or something? That's right, I'm talking to you. So you're the ringmaster, eh? What kind of company are you running, letting your freaks run wild like this? So what exactly happened here anyway? Please listen, master. To begin, once we entered this tavern, Matcha there sat at a gambling table, began drinking. Hey now. Whatever became of the mission? He lost at dice more and more, even demanded, I bet, our travel expenses. Whoa, keep that to yourself. Nothing better to do, so I followed his example, joined him, gambling table. Had no idea what I was doing. Beer was so bad, it was undrinkable. Then, at my lowest moment, third-rate seaman gestured towards me, called me a prostitute, and began touching me near my waist. That, I did not mind. He did treat me to some milk. Wait, she didn't mind that? Yo, Ned's a lewd. Next, he made me sit on his lap, told me to pour him another glass. That sort of frivolity I also did not mind. You didn't mind? I do not mind. However, the seaman remained in high spirits, yet, as he kept drinking, burst into tears. He began to complain how sad my body is. Can you believe? This body given to me by Tiazan Zenran himself. How dare this man, a praise his body as sad. How dare he? That's what bothers you about this? That's about when I couldn't take it anymore and tried to go smooth things over. According to that sailor, Neza, she's so light that he figured she wasn't eating well enough. And that got him thinking about the kid he left behind in his own country. Yeah, that right. You got a problem with that? So, why the hell this wench of yours go pulling a weapon on me? Don't worry about it too much, young ringmaster. This guy's just a big old lecher. He was just trying to get you a wench to feel sorry for him, so she could take her to bed. He does it all the time. Why are these pirates becoming Irish all of a sudden? Sure, ain't much fun to be had in Puritan town like this after all. Yeah, neither. We sailors no performers belong here, so we might as well get along. We're just going with Irish now, we're just rolling with it. True, Nezla was out of line, I apologize. True, Robin was out of line, he'll apologize. Me? What did I do? Not keep a close enough eye on her? Yeah, alright, I had a feeling it might go this way. What's going on? What was all that commotion about? I rushed here as fast as I could, but all I see now is people drinking happily. Come on, what happened here anyway? Those pirates just became Irish all of a sudden. I see. I suppose I understand. I'm just glad matters were resolved before they got out of hand. Performers, eh? If the storm of the Bay keep are stuck here, then maybe we'll go see your show for ourselves. A storm? Has there been a stretch of poor weather out in the bay? Is that why you're all hanging out in the tavern? Yeah, you got it, Specs. Gotta say though, I'm surprised you're even thought to come perform here in Salem at all. What sort of show you'll be putting on? Oh, well, we were thinking of... Hold it, all of you. I want to hear what you have to say too. They say you're going around telling everyone you're traveling performers, but I don't buy it. Oh. Ringmaster, that guy's been sitting in the corner for a while now. He's one of the villagers, not a sailor. I run a general store here in Salem. I've been to Boston a fair number of times, but I've never seen any entertainers like you before. I know there's a lot of strange folk here in the theater, but no one would ever come to Salem looking to get rich. Unless you're secretly up to some dirty, shameful business, like that sailor said. For that matter, you're awfully young to be a troop leader. How many shows have you performed anyway? This will be our first. What was that? Whoa, it's not what it sounds like. She means this will be our first time performing with our current members, naturally. Another problem on our hands, huh? Senpai, I mean Ringmaster, please let me handle this. I have some notes from Chaldea for situations just like this. Sir, I can see you care deeply about this town, and I understand your concerns. But I assure you that despite our appearances, we at the Factory Company are good, God-fearing people. We may not be Puritans or Quakers, but we always perform with gratitude for all of God's blessings. We pray every day, and as long as there is a church nearby, we make it a point to attend Mass as well. On our way here, we heard about a village in New England that no other performers will go near. A village where good people live pious lives. A place that truly lives up to its name, the city upon a hill. As fellow Christians, we hope to learn from the people of Salem's example. And if we can bring them some joy in return through the only trade we know, we could ask for nothing more. The city upon a hill, huh? I can see that you mean well. And given what happened in the little tussle earlier, I can see you also that you want to blend into our town without causing trouble. Even if you are a bit on the unusual side. Huh. That said, I don't want you leading us into temptation. People say that we Puritans hate plays, novels and dancing, but that's giving us too much credit. It's not wrong, but it's not quite right either. We do our best to minimize those distractions in our lives, precisely because we are drawn to them. Every child knows that plays are fun and exciting. And this tavern certainly sees its share of people coming in, looking to relax and enjoy themselves. The people of this village purposely go around turning blind eyes to each other's failings, as long as they only involve a glass of hard cider. We are all of us frail vessels, and so we do not invite further temptation into our lives. That is my concern about your troop. Hard cider is pretty great stuff. I understand that as performers, we may not be welcome. But does that mean we're not allowed to be here at all? This is not my decision to make. But if you're willing to demonstrate what sort of play you mean to put on, that might go a long way towards changing the people of Salem's minds. If you insist on performing, I'd be willing to speak to the Reverend and other respected villagers on your behalf. Why not try putting on a small show just for them and getting approval from the village that way? I see. Senpai, I think this could be a good opportunity. Definitely. If you refuse to do so and mean to ply your trade without regard to the village's sense of piety, then I would prefer that you leave. The barkeep tells me you're a guest of Professor Carter. All the more so in that case. If you don't want to be hauled out before the judge, you should go somewhere that's more welcoming to outsiders like Rhode Island or Pennsylvania. This is Massachusetts. Ours may be a small village, but the eyes of God and His justice are upon us all. I don't want to see anyone hanged here. Hanged? About 4 years ago, I think, I saw a criminal hanged in Boston's town square. There was talk of witches and foul play. Perhaps you heard about it yourselves? Oh, witches you say? Now that's something we'd like to hear all about. Finally, something relevant to the mission. If I may, Senpai, I think we should do as this man suggests. It's a good opportunity and would make our investigation considerably easier. I guess this is a kind of a test then. Sounds good, though I am worried about the others. Yeah, let's do that one. That's how I feel. I can see you have concerns. I believe there was a play in the book Anderson gave us that should be perfect. If it's alright with you, Senpai, shall we go with that one? Okay, let's do it. Understood. Then I'll speak to this man and request his assistance. Now we should head back to our room and get ready to perform. Oh, and if you're wondering about Abby, I escorted her back to the town center. She was a little shaken up by the gunshots, but she regained her composure soon enough. At least, I think she did. Right, chat. We're going in. Let's prep the voice. Here we go. Section 1. Halfway through. Bazaka and Assassin. Bazaka! Sure. Let's take Merlin. Gotta go full on caster here. Can take our Umu. Take Zanzang as well, I guess. Zhuanzang Zhang. Well, what is her name again? Her name is so awkward to pronounce. It sounds like I'm just saying the same thing. Zhuanzang Zanzang, I think. I probably butchered that completely. Can't wait till the lottery as well, where I can level up a lot of things like Granny and all the other things we got recently that are stuck at level 1. Zanzang Guanzang. She isn't really about critting either, but I should give her that anyway. Wisdom will probably be better actually. She's not about that crit. Don't need my Merlin with bond. Well, I guess I do. Yeah, we'll farm all the extra bond rate we can while it's bond rating rate up. Cause that should do. Hey, Aiden, what's up, man? I have 3 SSRs to still level. I don't think I have any SSRs to level. I think I've just got like a lot of 4 stars. How long has it been since I last saw it play? What a waste of time. What a waste of perfectly good lamp oil. What nonsense is this? We worked so hard to build our own town hall and to fill it with such a frivolity. I don't even see the Reverend here. Where is he? I'm told he had to attend to someone who fell ill and can't make it tonight, but this should be enough. Alright, Ringmaster Fetrix. We're all here. Go ahead and start the show. Got it. Let me just check with the actors. Okay, everyone, remember, just like we planned. You should already be familiar with the play from looking it over at Chaldea. We may not have been able to bring back the actual script, but you should all have your lines from the notes I gave you. Madhari, you'll play the Queen of Sheba. A strikingly flamboyant role. Sounds right up my alley. Robin, you'll play the King of Solomon. Yeah. And of course, Senpai, I'm sorry, Ringmaster will lead everyone through the production. You'll have multiple roles, so you're going to be busy. This is pretty nerve-wracking. You've been a huge help, Ash. Thank you, Ringmaster. It's been a fun change of pace from my usual work. Of course, now we have to actually perform. I'll be helping out from the side of the stage, as the narrator and the prompter. I did have important things to do back at the house, you know. This is part of our mission, Medea. That's right. We need to let these people know we need to let these people get to know all of us, albeit carefully. That said, I'm only a bit of a player this time around. Don't screw this up, Robin. I don't know why they picked me. I said I was fine being a tree. And why do I keep feeling like someone's staring at me? He's happy to be a tree. The gaze of our audience act now or not at all. Show off. I've forgotten the voice that we sing from a line. Where was that link Oni gave me? Gee. I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule for my guests, Your Honor. I am not here as a dramatic critic. I will not judge the quality of the performance. It would hardly be fair for me to go around espousing Praetorian values after all. I will judge merely by determining whether this production is suited for the good Christian people of Salem. A perfectly sensible choice. Can you tell me what the company will be performing today, Miss Mash? Of course, Mr. Carter. Tonight, we'll be performing a story from Scripture. Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Well, that sounds lovely. I can't wait. I'm afraid we don't have any velvet curtains, but please, go ahead and get started. Ahem. Good evening, distinguished guests, and thank you for accepting our invitation. On behalf of the Vetrix Company, I would like to say that we cannot express our gratitude to you for taking your time to be here this evening. Tonight, we will be performing a story about the most enigmatic queen in the Bible. Goddammit, enigmatic. She was the queen of the prosperous southern nation, somewhere south of Arabia, or perhaps to the east of Africa. This queen was drawn to King Solomon, known far and wide for his peerless wisdom, and decided to journey across the desert to meet him. Tell me, do you know what a true desert is like? An endless sea of sand that stretches out past the horizon, a land of death where not a single drop of water can be found. Yes, we've done the Camelot. To cross it, the queen ordered hundreds of camels accompanied by thousands of soldiers and attendants to form a single file procession. Each camel was laden with incredible treasures, gold, jewels, and precious frankincense. Our story begins with the queen perched on a camel, surveying her possession. Have I actually got to read out whole play? How depressing. I don't mind traveling by camel. But what will I do if I travel all the way to Jerusalem and still cannot meet with King Solomon? Why does this weigh on you so, Your Majesty? You have thought nothing else for these entire 2 months of the travel. We are 2 days away from the Red Sea harbor, and Jerusalem is still farther. Besides, see for yourself what mountains of treasure you bring. 128 talents of gold, more than even 20 camels can carry. Sapphires, ambers, opals, garnets, and other precious jewels, the finest frankincense our nation has. Never before has such a vast array of treasury been brought on such a journey across the desert. More even than that, Your Majesty's beauty is renowned far and wide. King or not, there is no man alive who would refuse you. Is that so? I'm not so sure about that. These treasures are merely tokens of my good intentions to show the people that I am trustworthy. The true cargo I bear lies within my heart. Wait, she's the Queen of Sheba? For this man was born to be king, and been blessed by God himself. I'm afraid I do not understand. This man may be a great king, but he is still just a man. If you flatter him, he will grow conceited. If you appeal to his greed, riches will bind him. If he is truly born to be king, it is not that all the more reason for him to rest on the laurels of his lineage? Is it true that Israel is much more peaceful and far easier to trade with now than it was under its previous king? But I still have my doubts about his wisdom. That was a really cool translation, I won't lie. The way it just like faded to black and we see Queen of Sheba, that was pretty cool. Keep such thoughts to yourself. Now that the harbor is in our sight, one never knows where the ears of the king might be lurking. As you wish. What's this? Caravan leader, something is amiss at the head of the procession. It appears to be an ambush by bandits. They never learn, do they? We should be nearing an oasis. Thieves often congregate in such areas, so I expected some issues as we drew near. Some poor fools cannot resist the temptation of our caravan offers in the possibility of its riches. If you expected as much, then I trust you have also prepared for such attacks? Is there anything I can do to help drive them off? Surely you jest, your majesty. Rest assured that all is taken care of. We have plenty of capable fighters at our command. These fighters do not work for merely money. They are warriors of honor, faithful to our queen and country. I will send them out alongside our own soldiers post haste. My, but aren't we all pompous all of a sudden? Pompous. But very well then. I leave you and your fighters to your task. Ah, so she's the Queen of Sheba. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Now, did she know she's the queen? Like when she's in Salem? Is she keeping that secret from us? I guess she is, right? Guess we'll wait and find out. Teddypa come home, yeah. Is she any good, by the way? I don't remember when we looked at all the servants a while back, like we usually do our thlying. Our thlying. Dana? Maybe the sound's a little too loud. Turn it down a wee bit. Monkey. Oh, I shouldn't have done that so soon. Why did I do that? It's only a one turn cooldown, right? Yeah, I've not used Zanzang in a while. It's only a one turn thing. Olympia Proudea. Yeah, kiddo, we just turned back to the story. We just tuned back in, and we found out who the Queen of Sheba is, or who Tudaba is. Servanto. Servanto. Nasa. Servanto. I'm probably gonna compare voice lines. I'm not really good at voice acting. I mean, I'm not a professional after all. I'm a scuffed guy just doing his best. Servanta. She has like a high, upbeat voice. Servanta. Naza. No, it's terrible. It's terrible. Because I'm like trying to keep an eye on chat while obviously reading the lines. When I see you guys like doing bongo taps or the smugs and getting excited for what's upcoming, it gives me a goosebumps. Like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's coming? What's coming? What is it? What is it? I have some like watermelon juice. That's really nice. It's really, really nice. It's one of the ones that you water down. Like you said, it's mostly water with just a little bit of juice at the bottom. Tastes real nice. She's the queen of Calpudia. Is the next SR ticket again in August? Pass. I think there's only one a year, right? We only get one a year, so same time next year. So much waiting for Neza. Try your luck, Oni. Maybe if you have it to bear. Tetuba, come home. No, she is Tuduba. She is a crit single target caster. Oh. We don't have one of them yet, right? Like, so she'll be the first one. She's the other ST Buster caster? Oh, nice. Hopefully she's pretty decent then. Wait, is she is Neza is Sheba 4-star or 5-star? Dumb question, right? Is she 4 or 5-star? She's a 4-star? Oh, so we might get her when we roll for Abby then. She might be around. She might be. How did I like the new sprite from Ash? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cute. Doing like a poetry read. Pretty cute. Pretty cute. Let's take a rider. Anyone have Ishkandar by any chance? Astolfo. I was waiting till I get my own Astolfo to use it, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. So we'll just use Namelesses in the meantime. What's the final boss going to be? Let's take my... Where are you? There you are. I don't get much chance to use you, my dear. My dear? Go down. Who's close to Bond Ring out of Merlin or Tamo? 137. 200, so Tamo's a little bit way off. Who's closest? I think she was pretty close, right? Nope, 301,000. We just want all that free quartz. Free quartz. I don't think I'm gonna have anyone that's pretty close. Guess Mitch was working on you anyway. Let's go in. Did I hit my mic? I might have. Why? What happened? Alright. Thanks to their capable bodyguards, the Queen's procession easily fended off their attackers. Soon after resummoning their journey to Jerusalem, the procession arrived at the Red Sea Harbor. The harbor was packed with throngs of camels, and there was a lively din sounding left and right from merchants awaiting ships and cargo. The Queen's caravan rented hundreds of ships that sail for the north of the Red Sea. In time, the massive fleet arrived upon the northern edge of the Gulf of Aqaba, at a seaport called Izan Gaber, built by King Solomon himself. God, I butchered these names so bad. The people of Israel were surely taken back by the appearance of this mysterious queen and the untold wealth she brought with her, and her amazing beauty. This magnificent scene of the queen meeting King Solomon has been decapitated, or depicted, I can't remember the word, in countless numbers of painted masterpieces. Depreciated? God damn it. The Queen's procession headed northward over land, their eyes taking in the pastures of the foreign country that surrounded them. Then, at last, they arrived at a point where they could just barely make out Jerusalem, glittering white ramparts. And yet, something seemed amiss. Are we gonna see him? We're gonna see our boy, right? He's gonna appear. This is ridiculous. I can't take it anymore. You seem upset, my retainer. Yes, your majesty, I am. We've been stuck in this village, within the ravine, for an entire week. If we don't get moving soon, the soldiers and camel tamers will start to get homesick. What say the messengers we sent ahead to Jerusalem? I've sent them countless times, your majesty. I even went to try and negotiate our entry myself. It's just that the guard keep investigating reasons to turn us away. At the gate, they're hopeless or inventing. Even showing them a list of all the gifts we bring for King Solomon has done little more than warm to smirk. I see. Then perhaps it is time I met with them myself. Tell the caravan to loosen their loads and make themselves at ease. Your Majesty? Your Majesty, please, you mustn't go off on your own. There is a flock of sheep coming this way. I'll have the guards chase them off. No need for that. This is not our kingdom, so we shall be the ones to make way. I bet Solomon's herding the sheep. My, the sheep are nice and plump, and their wool is soft and well kept. This is indeed a rich land. Oh, it's David. Well now, it isn't every day one comes across such an esteemed noble. Good day to you. Stay back. Who are you? As you can see, I am merely a passing shepherd. A harmless, friendly young man who enjoys nothing more than singing and dancing. Are shepherds so rare where you come from? No, they are not. I do beg your pardon. You must be travelers that have been staying here in this ravine. This place is ill-suited to make camp. Have you run into some manner of trouble on your journey? You are quite perceptive, young shepherd, as luck would have it. I see. That certainly is odd. Jerusalem is supposed to be a city of compassion, a place that will open its gates to anyone. How terribly embarrassing that it has seen fit to reject guests who have traveled from so far away. Can you tell us what Jerusalem is like, young shepherd? What do you think of the great king city? Well, now, I can hardly refuse to answer a question from such a beautiful lady, can I? Your Majesty, surely there are far better ways to pass time than in the company of this ill-mannered youth. Yo, don't be rude, lady. What is wrong with it? I'm having a perfectly lovely time. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to see. I haven't been to the city myself in quite a while, but I do hear rumors from time to time. Jerusalem is a city like no other. It is truly the center of the world. Its ramparts stand tall against any threat, and its palace is the height of luxury. I believe its most beautiful feature is the temple its previous king wished to build really, really badly. They say it is a truly impressive sight. I implore you to pay it a visit yourself after you arrive, my lady. I think I should do just that. What about the people who live there? Have they no complaints at all? Good question. I suppose I must simply say that it seems the king is doing a superb job. Each and every one of his people speaks of him with reverence, with his language as lyrical as poetry. They say that he is far and a just judge, possessed of true wisdom, that he was born to be the perfect king. True wisdom. But ripe fruit inevitably draws pests. The fruit itself may not be to blame, but alas, there is nothing one can do about the laws of nature. Thus do security and abundance inevitably lead to avarice and arrogance. I knew it. Your Majesty? Wait, does this mean the gatekeepers expect us to bribe them? Even after our messengers have long since paid our toll? Well, I'm afraid there isn't much of a lowly shepherd like me can do about that. The best I can do is join you in your conversation here, and in the shade for a fleeting moment. Oh, unless you would also like to pay me my harp. Like me to play my harp even. No, that will do. Thank you, my good shepherd. By the way, I notice a number of your sheep have injured their legs. Could I buy them off of you, so that I may treat my subjects to them? Well, that would be a great help. I could not think of a more advantageous trade for us both. Oh, right. I remembered something else that you may find of interest. It is perhaps a bit spooky, but... Hidden gates, you say? That's right, gates. Jerusalem is a big place, with many people coming and going. As such, the ramparts contain a number of side gates. A holy gate preserved for God, a gate for chariots, a gate for merchants, a gate for slaves, even a gate for shepherds. And while I don't know whether it really exists or not, I've also heard there's a forbidden gate for Rausch, for spirits. They say it is dark even during the day, and that the dead themselves make use of it. It is always closed and barred, and not even the guards go near it. This match is quite cute. Thus did the Queen of Sheba learn of the hidden gate into Jerusalem from a mysterious young shepherd. The Queen next stole away to Jerusalem in the middle of the night, taking only a secret few with her, or select few. She decided that in the front gates would not be open to her, she would simply sneak in the back. None of this is written in the holy scripture, but please do not call it heresy. No matter how our company may use our imagination to help bring this story to life. It would do nothing to diminish King Solomon's greatness or the Queen of Sheba's beauty. If the guards would refuse us passage, then we shall make our own passage into the city. Ha! As if crossing the Great Desert wasn't brazen enough. I never imagined you'd be so reckless as a queen. Ah! Oh goodness. These must be some of the city guards, so this is another trial we must face. If our actions go against the will of God, then this is where our journey will come to an end. Please stand back, Your Majesty. The soldiers will handle this. Yeah, I love the way they did that. So we're meant to be doing a play. I thought we were just gonna be acting with whatever servants like Sanzai and whatnot. Sanzai, the servants we have. But the way it actually like made us go back in time and we can see like the reveal of Queen Sheba. It's pretty cool. I didn't expect it. It's a really smart way of them doing it, reliving like the story instead of using like Sanson. Actually use the proper servants. Hey, Astolfo. Hanabi Gadong. So I just want to face card this. 3 waves. Don't really have decent cards, so. Olympia Pradero. What are you guys talking about? You like in Salem manga that Tuduba has a completely different appearance at first, a different character, and the servants are wearing 4 costumes. Madahari Asheba looks good. Is that gonna be a spoiler if I click on that? Aduh. The OR mangas are pretty good. Ah. Manga looks so good with the extra scenes, etc. Would be nice if he takes a look at the manga, but since he is putting this on YouTube, he might not be possible. Oh yeah, it's cool. We're still talking like I'm not gonna like. We're just putting on YouTube as it is. It's just the main story part that I'm kind of just like focusing on. That is a big health ghost right there. Yeah, it's just when we're going through the story dialogue that I'm being quite strict on. Because I'm putting the fights up on YouTube as well, so. Hey, from me to you on YouTube right now, what's up? Actually, we'll just do a break. I guess we'll just do Heart Chain. I'm gonna be. I could have probably like. I probably should upload the VOD, like update the VODs where actually download it and edit it myself. So I'm just gonna be super lazy with the upload. Right from Twitch. I might edit out the simple fight scenes like this though. Like I might not have this fight scene in because I don't feel it's like really relevant. It's just a small thing, right? Bum, 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 bum. Kira Mekazo? Yosh! How? Could have at least charged the NP, rude ghost. You rude ghosticle? We're against a Ifrit. Ifrita. Didn't even end up using a Stolful there. I guess we use a Stolful now. But then again, my Brave Sheep might be able to kill this. So actually, we might not end up using a Stolful at all. Feels bad. Stolful was just a target dummy. Maybe use like 3 face cards? Got a Brave Chain here, might kill switch if we get a crit or 2. Don't get a chance to use my Maid Rider much. Unless I let her loose. There was no escaping. The Intolerable Demonic Bullet. Oh damn, I didn't read that. Too quick. It's too quick, man. Just a little bit of overkill there. Wait. Alstolfo says die shoddy? I thought that was like an Okita line. Die shoddy? Still full carry? Well, he tanked all the hits. So, kind of. Kind of. You're not far off the mark. Okita-san, die shoddy! And so, the Queen of Sheba's procession fought off the guardian spirit and successfully made their way into Jerusalem. Soon, the king learned that a foreign queen had entered the holy city, and the front gates were finally opened. Thus, did the parade of camels and ostentatiously dressed attendants make their way through Jerusalem. Though the people of Jerusalem were accustomed to luxury, the riches that the queen presented to the king must surely have made even their eyes pop. The lavish spices they brought with them also provided to be incredibly popular, and soon the holy city was filled with their scents. Shortly thereafter, the queen was officially invited into the palace and, at long last, granted an audience with King Solomon himself. Are we going to see him? Oh, come on! You can't just show us a shadow. How good of you to come. Queen of Sheba, on behalf of my subjects, I welcome you. I extend my hospitality to you and your people. Please, stay in my palace. Rest from your journey. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, good King Solomon. Now that this moment has come, the fatigue from my journey has all but vanished. I know who you are. This may be our first time meeting face to face, but I have had opportunities to learn about you. Without fail, the finest jewels and spices brought to Jerusalem come from the southern kingdoms. I have spoken to the merchants and travelers about them, interested to know more. They told me a queen from a desert kingdom in the south with a sure eye and a nose for trade. Until last night, my image of that queen was hazy and blurred like a mirage. But now, I see clearly that she is a beautiful desert flower beyond compare. You are too kind, King Solomon. If anything, I am the one in all of how your grand figure far exceeds the picture I held in my mind. I apologize for the treatment you endured on your journey here, Queen Sheba. I shall find out how it came to pass, and see justice served, should it be necessary. If it please you, I shall give you a tour of the palace myself. Will that serve as an apology? A tour from King Solomon himself? I can think of no greater pleasure. Of course, the pleasure will be mine, I assure you. The two rulers proceeded to walk around Jerusalem's palace, chatting happily all the while. Every one of the dances performed, the harp songs played, and the dishes served were truly exquisite. But the place that Queen of Sheba was most impressed with was indeed the very building the Good Shepherd had told her about. The magnificent Temple of Jerusalem stood even taller than the king's own palace. Atop its great altar, burnt offerings were made to God. Therefore, sacrificial animals and other splendid offerings were consumed by sacred fire. Once these offerings were chosen to become God's food, the frankincense, which would later be chosen as one of the 3 wise men gifts, was burned like firewood. While bearing witness to these amazing spectacles, the queen casually posed King Solomon a series of questions. Indeed, these very questions were the queen's purpose in venturing to Jerusalem. A quest begun in the hope of appraising the king's wisdom, distinguished his worth, gaining a true answer to the question she had long pondered. Some scholars say that Queen had only 2 questions, while others claim she had as many as 19. Whatever their number, King Solomon answered each in turn, and the Queen marveled at his wisdom. And, in that moment, she decided to entrust King Solomon with the 3 most precious riddles she carried deep in her heart. Solomon, in turn, honored his noble guest by having his many retainers line up along both sides of his throne. So began a battle of wits to test the merits of both rulers. There could be no room for failure, as silence hung in the throne room. The audience watched with bated breath. Great King Solomon, leader of the people of Israel, and bearer of the boundless wisdom, I humbly request that you answer 3 questions, and share your wisdom with your guests. Very well, speak your questions. There is a room with 10 doors. When 1 door is open, 9 are closed. Why is it blue? I feel like I meant to remember this. Oh god, we're screwed. Chat, remember it for me. There is a room with 10 doors. 1 door is open, 9 are closed. When 9 doors are open, 1 door is closed. The answer is a person. The room is the womb, and the 10 doors are the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, navel, and excretory holes. When a person is a fetus, the door of the navel is open. Once they are born, that door is closed forever. O King, you are wise indeed. Speak your next question. Very well then, O King, let me ask you this. These words weigh more than gold, or even life itself, and require 4 people to carry them. And yet, their master has never once seen them. The answer is the Ark of the Covenant. The very chest I inherited from my predecessor. It contains the 10 Commandments, the proof of our covenant with God. It is kept in the innermost chamber of my temple, a mere holy room that is consistently filled with incense. O King, you are truly a man of wisdom. Speak your next question. Very well then, O King, this is my final question. This ocean is calm. A ship sails forward against the wind. The ship's pilot plots a course toward dark clouds. The ship is in no way prepared to weather a storm. Let's see. The answer is, hang on, time out. Just give me a second here. Huh? Calm ocean? A ship? Pilot? What's that all about? Wait, hold on, just a moment. I can answer this. Oh yes, great king. Please tell me your answer. Wait, did he forget his line? He forgot his voice line. Robin. What's the matter, Solomon? Hurry up and answer her 3rd question. I'm trying, but my script only had 2 riddles. Huh? That can't be right. Wait, I don't see it in mine either. What's going on? I could have sworn Anderson's manuscript had all 3. Huh? What's this? Don't tell me the great King Solomon can't even answer a simple riddle. Well, what say you, your majesty? I'm following my script to the letter, okay? I didn't have any response lines either on mine either. Damn it, Matahari. I can tell you're enjoying this. Yeah, I've got your answer right here. Why wouldn't I know it? Solomon answers everything. Please stay in character. The riddle was so easy, it's not worthy of an answer. Well, what say you, my trusted advisor? Would you like to answer this one in my stead? We may even just offer a hint if you like. Damn. Wait, who was written this? Because it was Hans and Shakespeare. Did one of them leave out the line intentionally then? Wait, me? Come on, Ringmaster, help me out here. Senpai? Does it have to do with the desert? Maybe it's the difference between you 2 rulers. Let's go with that one. Rulers, rulers, huh? What say you, O King? A fascinating riddle. It cuts to the very core of 2 perspectives. If I answer incorrectly, then Israel will lose a precious friend indeed. The answer is a nation. When a capable sailor takes the helm, the wind may carry him faster than ever. Much as the sea might appear the same everywhere, it is far from a single thing. It is made of numberless droplets altogether. Even when it appears calm, its surface hides unforeseeable waves and maelstorms. It is like the grains of sand that make up a desert, like the quicksand lying in wait for its prey. Huh? Very well then, O king. Where lies the ship's destination? This ship stopped for nothing. But it is not a ship that runs from danger, nor one that drifts upon the waves. It is but driftwood that will sink in the fullness of time. The pilot knows that an unavoidable storm is coming, and sounds the alarm. Only a ship that endures tribulation will see the glorious light of day that awaits in the new world. O king, you are indeed a wise leader worthy of this nation. Queen of Sheba, I pray that the Lord, our God, sees fit to bless you with his protection. You are no mere guest destined to while away her time before thy throne. Through your kingdom may be but a mirage that lies in the distant south. I hereby vow that our two nations shall be allies, and you, my friend. You are too kind, O king, but I am most heartened that my journey here has proved fruitful. Should you ever be in need of aid, and in an even greater endeavor, I shall return from beyond the desert and assist you to the best of my ability. Damn. Why couldn't it show us Solomon, man? I wanted to see him. I wanted to see my Romani. The best and biggest bro you could ever ask for. Damn it. Thus did King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba battle of wits come to an end. With more awe and respect for Solomon than ever before, the Queen set off to return to her home of Sheba. Solomon, in turn, was happy to give the Queen exactly the gift she wished for. As for what became of the prosperous desert kingdom, of the bond between King Solomon and its Queen, no biblical scholar can say. All we can do now is imagine the fate of the legendary Queen for ourselves. Friends, gimme. Oh no. Thank you all for watching. This concludes the Fetrix Company's special performance of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Oh, we got a round of applause. Okay. I think we impressed them. The ad-libbing by Robin was pretty impressive. Or by me, as a master. Back to the wharf we go. Oh damn, we're at the last part of section 1. Okay. Section 1 is long. Oh god. So, this is the Puritan colony of Salem. Just a moment, sir. Phew, we finally managed to dock her. You're the only cargo we're unloading here, sir. Certainly fine by me, though, since you've already paid for passage. Pretty rough storm we had to sail through to get here, though, you doing alright? I'm on land now. My work is on land, where man lives and works. There is no land inhabited by man, here or anywhere, that is free of sin, not even Eden itself. Professor Carter, there are people from the village who'd like to see you. They seem pretty upset. There's a good number of them, too. I see. Very well. I will go and meet them. Pardon me for a moment, Mr. Fetrix. They're asking to see you, too, Your Honor. Oh, goodness. What is this? What is this all about? You have a lot to answer for, Mr. Carter. Uncle, Tituba is... Abigail, you're here, too? Tituba? Mr. Carter. Did these people bring you here? Again, what is this all about? May I remind you that Tituba is my servant. I'll thank you to mind how you treat her. God, this music is a bit creepy. Yeah, fine. Then listen to me, Mr. Carter. My daughter has been lying, face down in bed, ill all day. I know when you stopped by this morning, I told you she was just tired from being out last night. From last night's excitement, even. Just tired out from last night's excitement. I thought she would be fine once she got some sleep, but I was wrong. This music is giving me goosebumps. She kept groaning and writhing as if she was fighting off a terrible fever. I tried to give her some bread and water to help calm her down, but she refused. I was at a loss for what to do next, so I asked Reverend to come and take a look at her. But once he arrived, she seemed to be suffering even more than ever. How so exactly? Well, Reverend? Yes, it seems to me as if she was possessed by the devil himself. She cried out with a shrill, inhuman voice and tried to strangle me with the strength that no child should ever have. We held her down as best we could until she finally passed out and then went limp. Uh, when we went to change her sheets. Oh my god. And found this strange and devilish charm within the straw. According to Panaman's daughter, it was Tituba who made it. Oh my. Oh, what an evil-looking wooden figure. I'll take that as evidence. Uh-oh. Is this true, Tituba? Did you make that? Mr. Carter. Well... You've got it all wrong. This isn't Tituba's fault. Anne took it without asking. We could hear a commotion all the way inside. What's going on? It looks like most of the village is here. Is that Tituba? They're interrogating in the middle of the crowd. I always knew there was something strange about you. Oh, this is dreadful. I don't suppose... Were you the one who had those Indians kill the Williamese? Williameses? Stop that. The Williamese girl is right here. Oh, the Williams. Girl, when I say Williamese... You're a witch. That's a tool used in blasphemous curses. I suspect this woman is guilty of heresy. Huh? Who are you? The name is Matthew Hopkins. I just arrived here on the boat from Boston. As of tonight, I've been appointed Salem's head judge by order of governor. Who do you think you are, barging in here all... What's this? Oh my, this really isn't official notice of appointment. And that of a superior judge, no less. I apologize for my rudeness. Pay it no mind. These are extraordinary circumstances. People of Salem, I first ask that you calm yourselves and regain your composure. The devil's power is at height in the hours after dark. We must not let our fears guide our decisions. I hereby order that this slave be taken into custody and interrogated. I will hear what she has to say in the morning. Oh god. I have to do something. Don't do it, Vetrix. I mean, Master. Please, just stay out of it. You can't interfere here. You need to remain a bystander right now, or you get swept up in all of this as well. Media? It's getting real intense. Can't you tell? It's begun. Oh god, the witch hunt. It starts with Tituba, no. I'm glad to see you are willing to cooperate. Mr. Carter, as her owner, I'd like you to accompany her to the town's holding cells. Oh, alright, I will accompany you. Mr. Carter! Miss Mash, Mr. Fetrix. I'm sorry to trouble you, but could I ask you to take Abigail home for me? I know I can trust you, and you will prove that in your play. Abby. I'll look after Abby, she's my daughter anyway. This is awful. Ah, poor Tituba. She's my daughter, man. I'll look after her. I won't let any scumbag hurt her, I promise. They'll feel the wrath of all the Chaldea and my Twitch chat. Alright? Anyone hurts our Abby? They'll feel the wrath of my community. Okay. Carter residence. Okay. Section 2. Oh, God. How many sections are there, chat? Like, how many actual sections are there in overall? Like, the overall thing? Is it, like, is it really short or just long? Wait, there's 3 tonight, though, is there? Because I'm wondering, like, when do we stop for the day? Because if there's, how many sections... I need you guys to tell me, how many sections are there overall? Because we've already been going for, like, 4.5 hours, and, we don't want to finish it all in one day, right? We want to spread it over, like, you know, maybe, like, a section a day, but I need to know how many sections there are. Because I would like to finish it this week if possible before I go back to work on the weekend again. So if anyone's able to tell me how many sections there actually are, I can kind of plan. Because I don't want to go looking in case I see some spoilers by mistake. So if any of you guys already know. Because we've got section 3 tonight, right? Salem has 10 sections. Okay, we'll do 2. How many's unlocked right now? We got 3, right? So we got 1, 2, and 3's unlocked now. And then 4 unlocks tonight, 4 and 5. And then the remaining on Thursday? We got 2 more time hits, right? So we can do section 2, and then we'll stop, I think. So we save section 3 and 4 tomorrow, and then on Thursday we should have like the rest, I think, right? 4 to 6 unlocked tonight. Okay. And do the rest unlock right away, right? Like in 2 days on Thursday, everything unlocks then. Which is like midnight for me. Oh damn. Salem is a ride. It is. It's getting really intense already. The next day, Salem, day 2. Oh god. Now it sounds like some kind of survival horror. I see. So Master went to the village in order to accompany Mr. Carter. That's right. Robin went along too to keep them safe. He said he's hoping they can determine whether the figure really is cursed or not as a part of our investigation. It looks like we'll just have to rely on Senpai for this. True. We need to be especially careful right now. How's Abigail doing? Abby hasn't left her room since last night. I tried bringing her something to eat, but she wouldn't even touch it. Neza went climbing up to the roof earlier, but I have no idea what she's got in mind. You know, ever since we got here, Neza's been acting like a cat on its last nerve. Maybe she likes kids more than she lets on. Anyway, it's hard seeing Abby so down in the dumps. Servant or not, Tituba clearly means a lot to her. Seeing Tituba thrown in jail must have shocked poor Abby. She's very different from the other children here, isn't she? There can't be many children as sensitive as her in this time period. It's especially unusual that she would be so close to, well, a slave. I'm not so sure about that. It is simply in her nature to be kind. Anyone can be compassionate like she is. It is just a matter of actually wanting to. I agree with Zansen's prejudice only takes root in certain environments. Abby lives a relatively wealthy life, at least by the standards of this colony. And she seems to have a very good education as well, thanks to Mr. Carter. And somehow, even after the loss she suffered, she's held on to her natural cheerfulness. I think that might be her greatest strength, but she still couldn't have done it alone. It's only because Tituba, someone else who knew her parents well, was there beside her. It must have been a big help to have a close family friend around to talk to when her parents are gone. That's why she's taking this so hard. She's afraid she's about to lose someone else she loves again. You know, when I put it that way, it kind of sounds like someone else we know, doesn't it? Huh? About that. When we went to look for Abby after she ran away yesterday, I found out that so far my Abby is a good girl. Extreme fear of Native Americans, huh? Yes, but it wasn't just a fear, it was... I'm not sure how to put this. Loathing, or maybe a strong fixation? Whatever it was definitely unusual. So that's also why you felt there was something different about her then. What did Master have to say about that? Medea, where were you this morning? Answer the question, Mash. Well, yesterday I was still processing it myself, and along with everything else that happened last night, I never got a good chance to tell him. See, that may actually be for the best. What do you mean by that, Medea? I've turned the house into a magical workshop. I just finished the right a moment ago. Huh? Are you sure that was a good idea? That seemed like the kind of thing we really should have asked Mr. Carter about. Oh, don't be such a wet blanket. I had to do it, if we were ever going to contact Chaldea. Regardless, that was awfully bold, especially given the circumstances. People might have seen you. Were you in your spirit form? Yes. What's more, you should all be able to use your spirit forms now, too, at least within the house and its grounds. Huh? Oh god, Sanson's dead! Oh, no, he's back. So it would seem. I guess we have your right to thank for this, but what exactly is going on? Now we can change into our spirit forms, too. You said, that just makes it sound like you already could. Well, of course. Who do you think you're talking to? I'm Medea. Hecate herself told me Magecraft. There's no point in just speculating about that. What might be happening here? What we need is proof. Proof that there is something strange about this whole village, magically and historically. Proof that this whole land, that Salem itself, is the real heretical version of history. As such, in order to observe it properly, I needed a workshop that I could withdraw to, somewhere isolated from any outside influence. I see. Then, I trust you'll fill us in on the details once Master returns, along with why you're the only one who avoided being pseudo-incarnated. My, so indirect and forceful, aren't you? Teehee? Heretical history? Then, does that mean this island, Salem as it is now, is actually a separate dimensional created with magecraft rather than its actual past self having been brought here unintentionally? I think so. I still can't read the rules on some of these destiny currents, but I'm trying to identify the root of their unusual phenomenal cycles. If it was a magecraft, then someone here should have a soul that can never be fulfilled and a will to bring about the curse that caused this. And that should lead us to the Demon God Pillar, yes? I believe so. I see. I don't think I've ever seen you work so hard on anything before, Medea. Me neither, but it's very encouraging and a nice change of pace. Huh? What do you mean by... Well, we can deal with that stuff later. We already told Master and Mash about this, but Sanson and I discovered something unusual too. Yesterday, we met a girl called Lavinia Wadley. She's a little albino child we ran into in the forest on our first night here. But more importantly, she comes from a family of mages. Wait, what? The Wadley house is far from the village, and its basement appears to contain a magical workshop. It has to be concealed, had to have been concealed, but very roughly, we found discarded alchemy equipment strewn about nearby. We also found an animal remains buried in their yard that seemed to be used for dark magic rituals. What did this underground workshop look like? Does this mean that the girls' families are practicing mages? Well, I'm afraid we still don't know for sure. Neither Mad Hari nor I could have gone inside without leaving a trace. That sort of thing is more up Robin's alley. There was nothing more we could do. Without Master's permission, we couldn't risk getting any closer. Even if we could have used our spirit forms, we couldn't know we wouldn't be walking into a trap. That's okay, just knowing that there's a magical workshop there is more than enough. We still need to be careful about how we handle this, though. If the people of Salem find out that the Whittleys are mages, then there's no telling what they might do. Mash, I believe you also said that Lavinia, goddammit, Lavinia, and Abby are good friends. Lavinia. Yes, that's what Abby told me. However, it also seems that people here strongly dislike the Whittleys, and I don't know much about Abby knows about that, if anything. Mages, huh? That could be even worse than the clergy. Also, may I say something? I'm not sure if this is because of the rite you completed here, Medea, but... Oh, did you remember something already? Go on, tell us. Yes, I did. Something very important, actually. That new judge who just showed up out of nowhere last night, Matthew Hopkins. I know him, or rather, I know of him. He is, like me, one of the most famous executioners in history. He is? Then he's not really a judge? I couldn't make it heads or tails of that man. Who is he? He is... Wait, stop. Good morning, Abigail. Morning, everyone. What were you all whispering about? Nessa told me about how Uncle is out with Mr. Ringmaster right now. He went to see how Titubut's doing, right? That's right. So please don't worry, Abby. I'm sure Senpai and Mr. Carter will clear Titubut's name. Yeah, I guess you're right. Plus, Nezza's here too. Nezza? What about her? The young girl refused porridge. I added spice. She ate. What's she trying to say? Is that we talked about all sorts of things while I had my porridge. And she told me that if I found any bad guys, she'd beat them to a pulp. That she'd make them completely evaporate before even a drop of their blood has a chance to hit the ground. Don't tell that thing to a child. What? Don't tell that to a child, Nessa. It sounded truly frightening, but I also kind of want to see it now. Of course. I would be delighted. Doing martial arts moves. That sort of violence performance really isn't what we're going for with this troupe. That is cute. Maybe I should pray to God and ask for forgiveness. At any rate, we have a lot we need to discuss with Master as soon as he gets back. You mean about our plays? Or your plays? Yes, of course. Specifically, we need to discuss the tragedy and comedy taking place right here on Salem's own stage. Huh? Yo. Damn it, the game's doing it again. It's making me fall in love with all the new servants like Neza, Sheba, obviously Abby. Ah, god damn it, game. Why are you so good at that? Welcome back, Senpai. Mr. Carter went out again, and he took Abby with him. He said he was going to the church to speak with the Reverend. It sounded like they were all concerned about what's going on with the other children. So, right now, we're the only ones here. How did your investigation go? You said you met with Judge Hopkins? It was awful. Would you mind telling them, Robin? No problem. You must be seriously worn out after dealing with that old fart. That bad? What? Why don't you have a seat in that comfy chair? Try to relax, Senpai. We learned a few things too while you were out, so I'd like to make sure we're equally caught up. You've been a big help, Mash. You've really come into your own as a prompt there. You think so? I mean, now's not the time. Please don't forget that you have an important responsibility as Master of Chaldea, Senpai. Okay, to start, let's go over what happened with Matthew Hopkins, the judge that suddenly showed up last night. Man, I don't know what that Hopkins guy's deal is. First of all, Master, Carter, and me went to the town's holding cell to talk to Tituba. But all the guard would tell us is that she wasn't allowed any visitors, orders from the top and all. So you were permitted to see her, so you weren't permitted to see her at all then? Nope. Turns out that this case holding cell is just a fancy way of saying underground prison. I snuck a quick peek inside the cell, and it was a real hellhole. Oh god, they're not torturing her, are they? There were rats and cockroaches everywhere, water leaking from the walls, the whole place smelled like something had died. And never mind sunlight, the only light in that jail was a few dim torches in the hall. Any more than a day in that dump, and you'd lose your goddamn mind. What about Tituba then? Did you see her at all? Tituba's, well, she's alive, I guess. She was curled up in a ball and freaking out something fierce. Poor Tituba. Coward! Rescue! Simplicity itself! Why do you not? 'Cause I'm a coward, obviously. Especially here in Salem. Stop it, Nessa. Remember, Master Robin went to clear her name, and not to break her out, Master and Robin. If we were to overstep our boundaries like that, we would only end up furthering suspicion against her. I see, yes, you are right. Apologies, Robin. Thoughtless of me, that. Sure, no problem. Anyway, like I was saying, it was all Hopkins' call not to let anyone see her. Wouldn't even let her owner, Carter, in. So, we decided to go and talk to him directly. We found him staying in a room in the fanciest mansion in town. A ship captain by the name of Turner built it. Turns out it had a guest room specifically reserved for judges and preachers and bigwigs like that. Okay, so you went to see Hopkins directly. Did he seem to be a demon god pillar? A demon god pillar? You serious? How should I know that? What was I gonna do? Shoot him in the face and see if he transformed? Come on! In the end, all I could do was watch Master get worn out. Sorry for all the trouble, Robin. Don't sweat it. It's not like every day we get servants get to help you out like this. Maybe the magical erosion caused by the curse that Media is concerned about is affecting Master too. Huh? What are you talking about? That's definitely important too, but first, we want to hear more about what happened there. How did Mr. Carter handle the negotiations? Carter's a pretty level-headed guy, but he's also got balls of steel. He went toe-to-toe with Hopkins the whole time. You'd never know he was just a mild-mannered professor. Abby told me Carter served during a war. A military man. That explains it. He walks just a bit gingerly. Must be an old warhound. I'm impressed you caught that, Sanson. I didn't notice at all. Carter didn't even try for an emotional appeal or anything like that. He just said that Tituba was his own private property, and refused to budge from his claim that taking her away like this was unlawful procedure. Even he said he would seek punitive damages if they resulted in any impediment to her ability to work. The constables who were there were pretty freaked when Carter said how much money he would ask for it, but Hopkins didn't even blink. The cursed doll. What of it? What became of that evidence? That's where a ringmaster showed what he was made of. He kept insisting that to see the figure again to determine whether there was black magic at work. But all Hopkins would say was, "The devil has taken up residence in that doll, just as he has taken up residence in Tituba. One need only look at the suffering child to see the hand of the devil in all this. If we are to limit the curse's reach, we cannot have people getting near or even touching the doll." Ironically, that would be the sensible move in a situation involving magecraft. But Mr. Carter wasn't having that, so he decided to speak with the Reverend, who made the diagnosis. I hope we can convince the Reverend to come around. If that helps Abby, it helps that Abby went with him. That's true. Abby's a very strong believer herself. Maybe she can get the Reverend to listen to reason. At least, I hope so. Now, it's just a race against time. What do you mean? Hopkins is going to try to extract confessions from his suspects. That is what he does best. Who is Hopkins? It's time you told us, Sanson. Alright. From what I know, Matthew Hopkins was a British attorney. If this is indeed 1692, Hopkins would be quite elderly, yet he does not seem so. However, history tells us he died in 1647, almost half a century ago. If Abigail gave us the correct date, I can only summarize that history is wrong in this. During his life, he was best known by the title of Witchfinder General. Witchfinder General, so he is from the military. If he hates witches, is he a religious figure? Let's try the military one. No, he is not military. Matthew Hopkins made witch hunts his life's work. The title was, so far as we know, one he gave himself. He supported himself with the rewards he got from hunting witches. His methods were brutal, even cruel, but people went along with them. I heard that he was responsible for the execution of 300 so-called witches in East England over the course of 3 years. 300 people? In only 3 years? But weren't all of them innocent? Most of them, yes, I expect. What a scumbag. So he went around seeing innocent people strung up as witches just to make a buck? Did you say they were hanged? I thought witches were burned at the stake back then. The vast majority of these witch hunts resulted in hangings, especially in England. Witchcraft was considered a grave crime against the teachings of God. As such, suspected witches were tried and executed at the same time as other felons were tried. Burning some at the stake was more of a form of torture than execution, that also served as a warning to anyone watching. As executions go, hanging is far more efficient and less painful. As these people are British colonists, they probably share many of the same sensibilities. And does that mean they're going to hang Tituba? Oh god. Oh no. With Hopkins here, that's definitely possible. Putting Tituba in that disgusting underground prison will wear on her mind, and quickly. An ordinary person is locked away, starved and denied visitors. They might last a week. No, 3 days at most. 3 days? So that's what you meant by a race against time. Sanson, very knowledgeable about this. Gotta hand it to you, Prince Neza. You're way better with kids than me. Hehe. Oh, she's so cute, damn it. That smile with that laugh, god damn it. Neza, spook me, please. So then, you were never able to examine the evidence? I took a look at it, but I couldn't tell you, one way or another. It looked like a regular handcrafted doll. That means I will need to examine it myself. For all your talents, Master, I don't think you'd be able to best equipped to handle this sort of thing. I don't think you'd be the one best equipped. It would be great if you could do that, but first, tell us about this workshop ritual. Of course. I believe you already heard the general outline I gave to the others earlier. I'll spare you the details. In summary, I took the liberty of turning this house into my workshop. It should be quite helpful, as it seems we'll largely be staying here during our mission. I see. Indeed, as of now, the area we are investigating here is much smaller compared to the past missions. My primary aim was to ensure that I could make full use of my magecraft, but there are other benefits as well. That is, so long as we are in my workshop, we are not affected by the influence this land is having on us. You mean you can use your spirit forms again? Right, but that's only a very small part of all of this. Oh? Can anyone here describe what Tituba looks like in detail? What do you mean? I know, she is a mild-mannered woman with brown skin, but, well, that's strange. What about the color of her eyes, her hairstyle, her build, her age? Now that you mention it, I can't remember anything like that. Oh man, I can't either. What the hell? Damn, you're right. Media, we didn't even know we were caught in the enemy's trap. So then, something's been interfering with our awareness, or maybe our memories? And, as long as we're inside this workshop, we're not subject to that interference, correct? Right. If this bounded field can easily interfere with the servant's senses, it must be the sort that would typically require a divine spirit to create. And yet, we still can't get a firm grasp on it. It's like it slips away whenever we try. You discovered this, Media? What do you think? Isn't it obvious? Tituba has been concealing her true appearance all along. Actually, she is the one who strikes me as odd at this point, more so than Hopkins, in fact. If anyone here has a connection to the Demon God Pillar, I bet it's her. Huh? Ideally, I would have liked to examine her after she returned here in Mr. Carter's house, but since that no longer seems possible, I'll just have to go examine her myself. That seems like it'll put you at a hell of a disadvantage. Well, I guess you're the only one who hasn't been affected by the bounded field. I guess that's why you're the Queen Witch or whatever, yeah? You know it, I'm the baddest witch of all. No need to be shy about it. That's definitely not Media. That's not how Media talks, right? Huh. Kind of thought that might piss you off, but I guess Salem agrees with you or something. I know we're already asking a lot of you, Media, but there's something else we need your help with. Alright, what about the contacting Chaldea? I've been focusing on getting the workshop done, so I thought I haven't made progress there yet, but I'm about to. I'd given it about 50-50 chance of working, sadly. Master, I think this is your call. Do we focus on saving, or possibly capturing Tituba, or making contact with Chaldea? Oh god, is this an important decision? We can't just throw Tituba to the wolves. Let me see what Mash thinks. Let's go with this one. Well said, Petrix. Any master that would make a child cry, no master of mine. Anyway, there might be a whole bunch of problems we gotta solve, but it's not like we've suffered any losses ourselves so far, right? So, don't get mad at me for saying this, but I don't think contacting Chaldea needs to be a priority right now. Whew. Oh, you're backing me up on this, Media. Of course, because then we'll find out she's not the real Media. Yes, I agree. Given the circumstances, making contact with Chaldea can wait. For now, I'm going to pay Hopkins a visit. Would you mind escorting me, Ringmaster? I'd like to say that no one else needs to come along, but I doubt that will be well received. Me, I'll go along too. Anyone else want to come? Strength in numbers, right? Then I shall join you as well. I think there may be something I can do to improve the situation. That would be great. Thank you, Sanson. Okay then. In the meantime, we'll keep investigating the village. Robin, Neza, shall we? Sure thing. Guess we'll head back to the Wadley estate. Understood. Whew. Now I'm wondering. Oh crap, okay. Detective work later. You know we always like to try and make a little guess once we get some free time. Once it goes back to the world map. Fetrix, was it? I do not care how many times you ask. I will not be releasing a suspect held in custody. If she is truly innocent, then she has nothing to fear. Do not interfere with my work. You are oddly presumptuous for a band of traveling performers. Unless you have something personal or reason to protest the suspect's detention. Senpai, are you sure it was a good idea to face him head on like this? It's the quickest way for me to get look. That may be true, but still. Petrix, Mash. You need to keep Hopkins talking. Make him show you that evidence he sees. Oh, here goes. Absolutely not. The evidence is crucial to this case. This is not up for discussion. So that one coming. Come on, isn't there anything we can do? Why are you so fixated on this object? The slave woman has already admitted to making it. That may be, but... Your Honor. And who might you be? My name is Charles Henry Zenson. I'm a member of the Factory Company. A Frenchman, huh? You're certainly a long ways from home. Indeed, I have been wondering for a long time, but also know a thing or two about medicine. In fact, I have treated a significant number of patients. Furthermore, I am told there are people here who have fallen ill, with children among their number. So, if it would please your honor, I would ask your permission to examine them. Well now, this is a surprise. You, a doctor? No doubt you mean to charge exorbitant prices for some potion or such, or perhaps you are a heretic yourself. Nothing of the sort, your honor. For example, I can see that you suffer from joint pain. And what does that prove? The same could be said for most men my age. I'm sure the inclement weather we have been having lately doesn't help. Perhaps your aching joints have put you in a foul mood. I can also see that you enjoy your liquor, but don't care for a lot of milk in your tea. Huh. If I may, I would suggest that you refrain from drinking too much. It would also do you good to eat more fresh vegetables, rather than subsist only on bread and meat. I suggest zucchini. I also recommend a salad with paisley and apple vinegar dressing. It will help with the pain. They do say diet is the root of good health. I can't say I approve of your message, Frenchman. Any layman could do the same. I can all but hear you shouting that you aren't like those ghouls who think applying a few leeches entitles them to a reward. Very well, I shall grant you permission to examine the patients. However, you are not to harm or puncture their bodies in any way, nor are you permitted to administer anything brought in from the outside their homes. Also, you may charge no fee. You will be paid a fixed amount per household from the village coffers. Thank you, Your Honor. That is more than enough. Phew. This is great. Now we can examine the villagers as much as we like. Plus, I think this can help with our investigation, right, Senpai? That was a very, that was a very you way to handle the situation. Oh, a very you way to handle the situation. Okay. I wonder if we could convince Hopkins now. That was a very you way to handle the situation. Sanson. I hope you do not mind my taking the liberty, Ringmaster. Hopkins. Your first responsibility lies neither to the villagers nor to your decrepit knees and back. It's to the health of the valuable witness, Tituba. As a fellow woman, I'm going to examine her, whether you like it or not. Give me the key to her cell now. Medea? I'm sorry, Ringmaster. There's just something about this man I can't stand. Well now. If you've come to perform a farce, I'm afraid you're in the wrong place. And what about you? Are you really fit to serve as a guardian of the law that you claim to be? Medicine is an intellectual practice, and so is the domain of men. The superstitious nonsense of women espoused to healing is nothing more than witchcraft. Tell me, woman, are you a witch? I am wisdom itself, deeply womanly wisdom. Clearly, you do not believe that women have anything useful to offer in their experience of stories. Watch your mouth! How dare you address His Honor that way? Hold. These people didn't come here to enact violence. I've heard the story myself, you know. Including ones about these thieves who disguise themselves as traveling performers. Indeed, I see now such a cover would be perfect for those with a lascivious intent. Cunning clowns win over children obscenely, dressing dancing girls, beguiled good upstanding men. They mislead the townspeople with caricatus of bystanders and voyeurs, and then take advantage of the commotion to steal from them. At times they commit arson or burglary, and disappear like so much smoke. Once they leave, they never return to that town, not even caring what manner of evidence they leave behind. What a foolish, dim-witted notion! Such greedy bandits never could hope to perform a refined tragedy nor a moving comedy. None could ever compare to King Lear and the Merchant of Venice, as I saw them in the London Globe Theatre. Don't lump us in with bandits like that. Damn it, Shakespeare, you're in for it when I get back. Let's go with that one. We need a bit of light in this dark situation, a little bit of a light comment. Achoo! Gesundheit. Are you coming down with a cold, or did your mustache just get stuck on your nostrils? I just got a strange chill down my spine. Odd. Oh well, I'm sure it was nothing. Definitely a cold. I wonder if I wouldn't have seen that line if I didn't choose the correct option. Oh, I wonder if that's like a special line. Hypocrite, arson and buggery are precisely what you yourself did during your witch hunts. Still, could it be that he regrets his past now? He almost seems like he's trying to make amends. I swear to you that we respect Salem's customs and would never do anything to compromise its piety. You don't say. I will tell you now that I sent a messenger down to Boston to visit someone who knows the city well. And he reported back that no one had ever heard of the troop calling themselves the Fetrix Company. That is not in itself a significant problem. Massachusetts has not forgotten the Boston witch trial of John Goodwin from 4 years ago. 4 children began having strange seizures and expected an old witch was responsible for them. Indeed, the devil frequently makes use of women for his evil means. How can you be certain that this slave woman is not one of his pawns? And so, I declare that Salem must be placed on high alert. There are witches in our midst. The devil is here in Salem. There is no telling what form he may take. Huh? Does this mean you are banishing us? Huh. So you would confess your guilt by running away? Quite the opposite, Fetrix. I give you permission to perform for the entire town. What? And you will perform tonight. You will give a masterful performance that moves everyone here. And in doing so, you will demonstrate that you are truly our performers. Gather as many villagers as will fit in the town hall and give them a good show. We just did that last night. That was only a select few. This will be for the rest of the village. And if your play does not move, then I will have you arrested as bandits, pretending to be performers, and investigate you all thoroughly. If we succeed, will you release Tituba from prison? That is a promise I cannot make. A crime is still a crime. But I can say that if it goes to trial, your success will leave a much better impression on the jurors. And one more thing, that woman will not be in your cast when you perform. Huh? Me? Why? Lock her in a cell as well, to ensure her compatriots do not flee in the night. You can't be serious. This guy's an ass. You are extremely rude to a judge. Be grateful I did not pass sentence on you here and now. In fact, I would even put you next to Tituba, as you wished. Gah, Hopkins. Truly convincing anguish. I hope to see such pathos from your actors tonight. Media. This is all so sudden. You want us to perform tonight? What play should we? Do not worry. I will select that for you as well. For it must be about something that Salem needs now more than ever. About how we kick this judge in the face? Like a martial arts play? Or something? Alright, let's take a quick break. Whew! Shit, this is getting so intense. I'm like addicted like crazy to this story. Holy crap, chat. Damn. So many guesses that I wanna like try to make. So we know now that Sheba is Tituba. Now, her reason for appearing here, I wonder if it's related to like Solomon. Do you think she's trying to bring Solomon back? Or something? I wonder. The story seemed to be hinting that way, because why else would they do a play of Solomon and have him like blanked out? And I feel like there's maybe some kind of hints where she's trying to bring him back or something, because obviously, you know, they said they were friends, right? And allies, if you're allies and respect people, and maybe she like loved him a little bit as well, then the only true course of action is to try and you know, bring back your love or something, right? Or you know, if there's any way possible. So I'm wondering if she's trying to bring back Romani or something. Or maybe he gave her, when he was giving her that advice, because they were never sure if it was 3 questions or 19, maybe she kind of saw something in the future where Solomon was going to die or something, and maybe she went to see him, and maybe he gave her a prophecy, like, you know, like, I'm not going to be here in X amount of years, and I need you to fulfill a role that only you can do. So maybe she's fulfilling a role for Romani that only she can do, because obviously he knew he was going to make his own device, because he can see the future, right? Predict the future, I wonder how close I'm going to be with any of these predictions, if any. Because I can't see any other reason for her to be here. Because not like, even if he worked with the Demon God Pillar, it's not like the Demon God Pillar has the power enough to bring someone like Romani back, who's, you know, banished himself from existence kind of thing. So the only thing I can think of then is she's here to help us because Romani said she needs to be here at this time and day and everything. It's the only thing that really actually makes sense. But